How's it going, everybody? This is Danny B coming at you tonight for another classic race watch-along. Tonight's race, to get you excited for super speedway racing under the lights in Daytona this weekend, we are reliving the 2009 Coke 0400. Now a reminder, no spoilers. Claudia has never seen this race before. Now Claudia will be joining us a little bit later than usual tonight. She's running a little bit late from work, so no big deal on that. I'll be starting us off for tonight, though. Hopefully she's not going to miss too much. Hopefully it's all nothing, but just maybe she'll just miss the national anthem and all that. But we are looking forward to that. I see people asking when's the NASCAR with the podcast. It's not tonight, as it usually is. So instead we are starting this over here. It'll be tomorrow night on Eric E6 channel, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 Central Time. You're not going to want to miss that. William Byron will be on the show with us. But tonight, we are reliving 2009 Coke 0400 as if we've never seen it before. So I hope you all are excited because it's going to be a fun night of racing. How's it going, everybody? Sorry if you couldn't hear me there. I just realized my volume was a little too high on the music part there, but it is what it is. I've got us here tonight. If you do have any questions for me and Claudia as we're doing this tonight, feel free to leave in the chat. Super chat, probably get our attention a little bit more. But if you guys want to support the streams, feel free to do that. Feel free to donate to me and Claudia. But with that being said, we'll just we'll jump straight into it. Tonight's race uploader, just like last time, is Dave W. If you guys aren't subscribed to Dave W., go subscribe to him. And yeah, let's hit play. Claudia will be here before you know it. Come on. Technical difficulties here. Well, how's your day going? Let's just refresh the page. I've had this open for a while, so that might be part of the problem.
And everywhere, alive in Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome the 82nd Airborne All-American Chorus.
Looking good. Let me scroll it down a little bit just so everything comes in correctly. We are having some issues. This is not good, folks. This is not good at all. Come on. Okay, well, we just skipped ahead. F-15s.
That'll do it for Countdown to Green. The Coke 0400 is next. Wide open coverage from Daytona on TNT. Gentlemen!
Start your engines.
Start your engines.
Start your engines.
There we go. Now it all looks good on here. Gosh, Kevin James got big into that.
That is a tough act to follow. A skill, I
So this
guess,
is back
like
when NASCAR was on
TNT.
TNT.
Just like everything else at this
Doesn't that feel like
track,
forever
even
ago at this
commands
point?
Are the best in Daytona. TNT's own Kyle Petty slated to give the command tonight. We'll get to that shortly. But first,
I know. When the video lags, but the stream doesn't. I'm perfect on mine. It's YouTube having issues tonight.
For 2003 winner Greg Biffle, it's been an interesting weekend loaded with a number of challenges. First, his car very fast in practice, and then there was a crash forcing him to a backup, but then the rain hit. Without a lap on the racetrack, that meant NASCAR rules sent him to the back for tonight's race. Now,
To the back you go, Greg.
Cautiously optimistic. They put that practice setup under this brand new race car. The concerns
Joshua
now,
Warner says
the
TNT was
lingering
only ran
tire
the
issues,
first
which will be
season that he
documented all
watched.
weekend
Wow.
here in Daytona, and just new car blues. Let's go to
All right.
Lindsay's
Hey, Alexander. Sorry to hear that you're in the path of Hurricane Laura. Hope everything is good for you. Where should Daytona's night race be at? 4th of July or in a regular season? I think it's making for it to be really interesting this year, but it definitely belongs in the middle of July, in my opinion. Hey, let me know, guys, if there's any issues with the audio, like if it's like any echo or anything like that. Just let me know how it's going. Is it 240p on your end too? Yes, it's not that good. But I mean, you appreciate the quality you can get. You know, Dave goes through a lot of effort to go back and recover a lot of these races and put them on YouTube.
Stewart started 29th and hung out in the back all day. I talked to him moments ago. He said tonight that is not the plan. Why? Because he starts first, and he said the car plenty good enough to stay out front, and the best place to avoid an accident at a restrictor plate racetrack if you're in the front. And that's
what number is Menard running? This is 2009, so he would be in the 98 car at this point.
Well, Marty, we've not been talking a lot about tires in 2000.
Gosh, they used to go all out in these sets for it. Look at this. Now they just stick Larry McReynolds in a studio, even before COVID.
But in those 2 practice sessions, we did have some wear issues on the inside of the right front and the right rear. The hopes are, with the rubber laid down, the cooler temperatures.
Robert says he remembers this being on a crappy TV. It was about 100 pounds and only 25 inches.
All right, thanks very much.
Now half y'all are probably watching this on your phone.
Paid tribute to a legend, honoring Richard Petty on the 25th anniversary of his 200th win.
I see we got 84 people watching us tonight. If you can, click the like button and show some support for the channel.
The smile of a driver at Victory Lane at Daytona.
Gosh, isn't that a beautiful sight? People at races. Oh, the king, Richard Petty.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome proud Coca-Cola Racing family member, Kyle Petty.
Gosh, I see that. Dude. Oh, what's Kyle doing?
I can't hear anything. On behalf of the Coca-Cola Racing family, I invite all you fans to pop the top on a Coke Zero 400, sit back and watch live on TNT the Coke Zero 400. Are you ready? Gentlemen, start your
engines! Did anyone totally hear Kyle Petty mess up there? He said, pop the top on a Coke Zero 400. Like, I think he meant to say just Coke Zero, not Coke Zero 400.
What a great night for the Petty family. Kyle now going to make his way up.
I forgot about this tribute here.
Call tonight's race here on TNT. We're going to take a quick break as TNT.
Y'all want to appreciate some good-looking paint schemes in NASCAR? This is the year right here. A lot of these cars in this race have some awesome-looking designs.
The Coke Zero 400 on TNT is brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero. Real Coke taste.
Anyone wants to have a Coca-Cola Zero? Go right ahead. I'm trying to lay off sodas, though. I've been dieting and exercising a little bit.
I'm Matt Anderson. And I'm Phil Rose from the Coke brand. Welcome to the
already lost like 10 pounds, so that's pretty good.
Powered by Coca-Cola.
We're thrilled that Coke Zero is now sponsoring our
race. There's the Pepsi comment.
They took our great Coke taste. It's not surprising that they took our races.
Didn't Kyle Petty give out like free Coke? I can't remember if he did that or not.
TNT's wide open coverage, which gives you more racing and less commercials.
Well, with TNT's Race Buddy on NASCAR.com, where you can choose from
Where is the NASCAR podcast that you're going to do? It's not tonight, guys. It's tomorrow night.
The race from the track, the pits, or even inside the car.
We had to reschedule to tomorrow night due to scheduling issues with the team of William Byron. So that's how we get William Byron on the show tomorrow.
For the drivers, so they too can see in a whole new way.
It's something you'll have to see to believe.
Yes, just wait and see.
Foreshadowing. Nice.
Yeah, card tomorrow might have sucked to a point. I personally liked it. Where's Claudia? She's on her way back from work right now. At DannyBTalks, who will win the championship in 20 years? I'd say it'd probably be Brexton Busch.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. We are almost ready to go green. It's been a weekend filled with red, white, and blue, and before the night is over, someone will take home a flag of checkered black and white.
Well, Claudia might not be here. Mr. Shooks is in here. Shooks, you want to come say hi?
Wide open coverage.
You want to say hi? Say hi to Shooks, everybody. I forgot they had a really good intro to this on TNT. Ain't nobody gonna take my car. Alright, see ya, Shucks.
This is Daytona.
Eric, you're asking if Darian will be back tomorrow. No, he will not. So we're not saying that Darian is done with us forever. He's just taking a break. You know, that's all it is, guys. So, Darian's still a big part of our show. Always has been, always will be, even if he's, you know, taking a break.
Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Sheehan.
I saw that Eric put him onto it too.
Absolutely out of breath, but he made it to the booth. Kyle Petty.
He's still a big part of
Happy
us.
4th of July to you, and a big thank you to all of our men and women around the world.
At NASCAR, will Kyle Busch win a race this season? If so, what track? Potentially. I'd say Bristol would be a good chance for him to win one. He's won at least one race at Bristol a year since 2017, so I would say that could probably be one he'd pick up the victory at.
With you. This place looks very simple. A big, wide, open freeway, almost like place. But it's much more difficult than that, isn't it?
Well, first of all, I want to say you nailed it, Kyle. Thank you, baby.
DannyBTalks, who will win this year's championship? Hard to say at this point. I think there's, has a good chance of it coming down to Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick, but again, it's going to really depend on who can get to the championship for, and it's going to be anyone's guess as to who can be the other two in there.
This is one of those places where you go in, you kind of hold your breath, but you've got to hang on the racetrack. It's almost you're reacting on what the car does. You're saving it a lot.
Yeah, and Wally
Colin says he has the same shirt that I wore at the Bristol Night Race last year. That's cool.
That's what this place is all about. We talked to Tony Stewart in the pre-race. Tony Stewart said it's not about being fast. It's about handling is the foremost thought in everybody's mind out there. Tires are the foremost thought.
It'll be Quinn House winning the last 11 races, maybe.
About fuel today, so I don't want to hear it from Larry.
Quinn might surprise us. You never know, man.
Keeping that car under you all night is going to be what it's all about.
Well, that's the absolute fun of racing at this place.
That's an interesting
so let's kick off our night
fact
here.
there from ARCA NASCAR starting park cars. 3 starting park cars in this race. Number 66 of Blaney, number 36 of Patrick Carpentier, and number 87 of Joe Nemechek.
Goodyear, Coors Light, Sprint.
Who flips this race? The one you're watching?
And their new film, Inglourious Bastards.
I don't think anyone actually technically flips in this. But hey, let's not start that. No spoilers, because when Claudia gets here, she's never seen any of this before.
And Coke Zero.
Wow, Chase Elliott fan, you're doing a 100% NASCAR Heat 5 race? That's interesting. Have fun with that. I'm watching a 100% race from 2009.
Of course, qualifying rained out earlier this week, so we're going according to the NASCAR rule book, which puts Jimmy Johnson in
way better than Burton Letarte for the commentary. I agree. Rewatching some of these races on TNT, the commentary wasn't really that bad. I think it was just kind of maybe, I don't know, even the graphics looked pretty good. Like, I don't know what I used to have a problem with TNT for. It's actually not that bad. Like, I think that's cool there. You can see on Greg Biffle's part there where they do the little Coca-Cola thing for their number.
Just take a look at the rest of the starting field. Wally, let's see if we can touch base with Kurt Busch.
Okay. Hey, Kurt, this is Wally up in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4, Wally, go ahead.
All right, man, I'll tell you what. Last 6 races, you have scored more points at Daytona.
Julie Miller says she has not seen this before, so no spoilers, guys, please.
You obviously like this. Sure run well here. Can this be the night?
At NASCAR, what is your favorite 2009 race, any series? I guess I would say any series. The first one I went to was just really interesting. The 2009 Scotts Turf Field at 300 at Bristol. That one had a lot of ups and downs. That's when I gotta get Claudia to watch with me sometime.
Be fun to watch.
Heck, we might watch that one before Bristol in a couple weeks.
Field making their way down the backstretch, warming things up, and let's check in with our crew chief.
It looks like a few people have never seen this race in its entirety, so yeah, no spoilers.
At one of the fastest racetracks that we go to. You heard Wally and Kyle talking about, this is a fast racetrack, but the fact I can guarantee you the driver that goes to victory lane tonight, he's not going to talk about how fast his car was.
Danny B, what's your favorite paint scheme this year? I guess just me being an Alex Bowman fan, the Cincinnati Tools car is like held a special place in my heart just because it was race where he dominated at Auto Club. So, yeah, I guess I'd say that one.
Drew Blickensderfer went to victory lane 5 months later, handling is still important. How close setup-wise are you to the car that went to victory lane here?
We're real close. We did some things to look for some downforce in our car, so we basically had the same kind of setup. And
Newton says the NASCAR YouTube channel sub to you and even had a playlist on your channel. Yeah, I'm pretty aware of that. That's something that we kind of talked about, the people who are in charge of that. So, yeah, I knew that.
You know, this is a Coke 0400.
Gosh, I love that Kyle Busch Interstate Batteries car. Why'd they ever change it from that? I mean, they went kind of went to something similar to that this year, but no, just stick to that. That was the best looking paint scheme you ever ran for Interstate.
So last year, we were a little miffed that you guys were promoting Coke Zero instead of Coke.
Yeah, see, first Coke Zero stole our great Coke taste, then it stole our drivers.
But hey, we're past that, and moving forward.
We're glad you're promoting the incredible Coke taste of Coke Zero.
In fact, we'd like to help.
What is the one part of a car that no one has bothered to use for sponsorship yet?
Look at that. That screams Coke Zero.
You're out of your mind.
Gosh, they used to do better commercials back then.
You haven't even tried it yet.
Now, would that be safe? I don't know if it's 100% rating of safety, but you're doing 200 miles an hour, so you made some choices to begin with.
Coke Zero tastes like Coke, and now you claim you're both okay with it.
Oh, yeah. Very okay.
It's really dark in there.
Well, are you a NASCAR driver or a NASCAR driver?
This might be wild and dangerous, but I sure do love Coke Zero.
Yeah. I'm like, well, where's the track? Where am I going? Yeah. What the heck?
We're gonna get him.
I like that one. I love that. Congratulations, Adam M. of Florida. You're the first grand prize winner in the Coke Zero Real Taste of NASCAR.
Did you hear that, guys? Adam there,
a few
he won.
160-mile-per-hour laps with a member of the Coca-Cola racing family at Atlanta
I used
Motor
to wonder
Speedway
if those little sweepstakes they talk about were real or not. I can just say anyone's name.
Even sent you your email from My Coke Rewards. Stay tuned. 3 more winners will be announced tonight.
MVR owner says, I'll be listening to this race while editing my new video called The Top 10 Crashes at Daytona National Speedway. Please, no spoilers. Yeah, I agree.
40 to 42 laps.
Burton to the WWE confirmed.
And that pit road speed 55.
Danny, did you like the wing on the car tomorrow? Other than it causing a lot of flips, yeah. A lot of the diecast I like to buy are car tomorrow. It's like 124 scale. I just love the way they look.
In a draft, you pull down and you got to be at 55.
Why are their names in red? That means that they are part of the Coca-Cola racing family. If their names are in red, they are part of the Coke racing family. That's why, because this is the Coke 0400. So Coca-Cola has paid a lot of money to get their guys seen.
You want to hurry up and get to that first line entering the pits, but you got to be careful because you'll see some guys smoking tires coming.
Action or winner circle diecast? Action all the way. You're gonna pay good money for a diecast, man. Go top quality.
Little red Coca-Cola bottles behind their names. There you see Greg Biffle, for example. Those are the Coca-Cola racing family.
Do you like Bubba Wallace? I do like Bubba Wallace. I've met him before. He's a great guy. He's a fan of Tennessee Balls, which I am too. So, yeah. Heck yeah, I'm a fan of Bubba Wallace.
Getting set to go green. If you're a racing fan, this is the only way to celebrate the 4th
Hey, yeah, you're
of July.
welcome, MVR owner. Appreciate the subscribe.
NASCAR, live on
Here we go, guys. We're going green.
We are underway. Green flag racing from Daytona.
Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart lead them to the start. I don't know about you guys, but I love that 2009, I guess /2010 paint scheme for Jeff Gordon. It was such a beautiful car.
Well, this is the best they
It's actually probably a diecast I need to get sometime. That would look really good in my collection.
That's my favorite camera shot right there.
Whereas Claudia, she is on her way from work, guys. At NBTalks, Trevor Bain or Paul Menard. Ooh, Trevor Bain's a Knoxville boy like I am, but I always did like Paul Menard, so I give it to Paul Menard.
That's amazing for the first, I guess, probably 15, 20, 30 rows, or excuse me, for the first 10
Yeah, I agree with you, Demetrius. Stewart's BK car was awesome. Way better than anything BK Racing ever put out.
Pretty patient here the first couple of laps.
I'll tell you what, Kurt Busch could not get any further up underneath the rear end of Jeff Gordon's car without picking the rear end up.
Well, I think he's getting a little bit of help there from Denny Hamlin, because Denny Hamlin's got that front bumper laid on the rear bumper of Kurt Busch, and that's why I believe he got loose there coming out of 4. You can see him pushing.
Where am I from? I'm from a little town called Harrogate, Tennessee, up near the Cumberland Gap, about an hour north from Knoxville.
I'm not sure Kurt was ready, but Denny was ready to get him up there.
Well, you know what? When he had it sideways, he was really
I no
mad.
longer live there now. I live kind of in the Nashville area, but yeah, that's where I'm from, guys.
It's like, what the heck are you doing? Oh, okay, I'm in the lead. That's all right. Cool, thanks.
And you're sitting there with Jeff Gordon.
Dang, Jeff Gordon is falling like a rock.
You look in the mirror, and the two's behind you, and then when you look straight, he's right up beside you because he got pushed there that fast.
He's lost like 20 spots and not even getting to turn one.
The worst thing can happen at the first 4 or 5 laps of a race because everybody is so close to each other. So now he's going to duck in, and he's got a long way to go, Lindsay.
He does, and Jeff Gordon's radio communications.
Who was my driver growing up? That's a funny story there, Gavin. I started rooting as a kid for Jeff Gordon. And the reason I started rooting for him is because when I had to think of who I wanted to root for, at the time my bus number was bus number 24, so I just kind of said like, oh, okay, well I'll root for the 24 car then, and it just happened to be a really good driver named Jeff Gordon. But then, as I got older, and kind of became more aware of who do I really want to root for in NASCAR, and Dale Jr. was coming over to Hendrick Motorsports, and I really liked the way his car looked in 2008, so I became a Dale Jr. fan. I rooted for him all the way through until 2017, and then I liked Alex Bowman when he substituted for Dale Jr., and then when they made the announcement that he was going to replace him, I was very happy because personally I didn't want a veteran driver to take over for Dale Jr. I want a new guy to root for, and fortunately for me, it's a guy who's very similar age to me, so I kind of feel like I can relate to the guy a lot, and yeah, I've been rooting for him ever since he took over in 2018, and been happy with that choice ever since.
Listen to that report, and they're talking about the 2 car being able to go low, high, wherever he wants to go. Let me tell you something, that 2 car was going wherever that 11 car wanted.
Who wins this weekend? That's a question I'm asking a lot of NASCAR YouTubers. Thanks for the read from BC Racing. So, obviously I'll probably make my official pick on NASCAR Rookie Podcast tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 Central Time on Eric Eastep's channel.
Let's take a look and keep your
but
eyes on Dale
looking at the
Jr.'s
stats,
88 up at the top of the screen.
even though I put out that video today saying that Ryan Newman is the unluckiest super speedway racer in all of NASCAR,
He was safe.
he's actually really consistently having good average finishes. So
I think Jeff did
personally,
something really smart, though.
I think I might pick Ryan Newman, but I'm not officially set on who I'm going to pick, because sentimentally I'd love to see Jimmy Johnson win, because obviously he needs a win, and hasn't won in forever.
And I don't think
so
he's in a big hurry to get back up to the front.
Sentimentally, Jimmy.
I think he's just kind of like
statistically
things out. But you
Ryan
don't get
Newman.
too big a hurry. Just let things settle down here a little bit.
But how fast do you need to get yourself to a safe spot in the pack, though?
There is no safe spot. There's no safe spot in this pack. I mean, really, it can happen anywhere. Unless you're up front in the top 2 or 3 cars, you may as well
What races am I going to next year? For sure, Nashville Super Speedway.
Yeah, but these guys, these are 43 of the best drivers in the world.
I don't know, maybe Talladega. I'm going to go Talladega in the fall.
But
I go Talladega next year. I'd like to. I've got some flight credits still saved up from Southwest, so me and Claudia may look into going kind of on the West Coast swing a little bit next year. But I'd like to go to Kentucky Speedway. It's not far from me, and obviously didn't have a chance to this year. Maybe I'd like to look into going to Darlington.
To 24th, so that old Dodge is on the move, and that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of races I'd like to go to next year.
They don't run a fast lap, but they get their cars driving good.
Yeah, and the other thing, and compared to what Larry's saying and what Wally said, to expand on a minute ago, the Dodges are notorious.
Have I heard of Bob Wellborn?
But not being great leaders.
No,
they can push a car.
I don't think I have,
It's
actually.
just the RPM band, it's the power range that the engine has. It seems to get a little bit.
Yeah, Samuel Richmond says that Brian Vickers was killer back in 2009. He really was. Like, he was the. I think he was the best driver that Red Bull Racing had, even better than Casey Kane, I think. Like, in terms of like the time overall with the organization. Obviously, Casey was only there for 1 year. Well, I still think overall Brian was a fantastic driver during
He's
his
kind
time
of up front, but you'll see these guys lay on the brake a little bit and not get off the throttle, because you can't get off the throttle in these restrictor plate cars because they don't react. They don't accelerate very good. So when you're starting to run here like this and you're running in a tight pack, you just start riding the brake just a little bit.
Yeah, this is some really tight racing here.
He's working his way up to the front. He's in the top 4 right now.
And he was a benefactor of qualifying being rained out yesterday, Ralph, because that means he got to start in the 3rd position. This is a race team that has really struggled on the plate races of late. Outside the top 30, both here at Daytona and Talladega earlier in the year. But there was
All right, guys, Claudia just informed me she is on her way back from work right now. So hopefully it won't be too much longer before she gets here. We are right now... I just realized I can't see how many laps there is to go here, so bear with me. We're going to move up the camera here a little bit. So
Tonight's
give
serial
us a second
coverage is
here.
brought to you by Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for the past 25 years. Let's check in with our friends.
Go. Let's move the video border up a little bit.
Hi, everybody. The Coke Zero 400 at Daytona.
There we go.
It doesn't get much better than this.
Ooh, I got goosebumps.
Yeah, me too.
No, I mean, we need to turn down the AC. There. That should improve our gas mileage, too.
Good point. You know, fuel strategy is so important these days, whether you're on the road or on the racetrack.
That's why Goodyear's new Fuel Max tires are so special. On the Goodyear website, it shows how the
DannyBTalks, what do you and Claudia do as a career?
2,600 miles worth of gas.
Claudia works for a catering company. She's been doing that for a few years now. I used to do car sales, and I used to work for a sign shop.
Hi guys, fuel strategy has been
Now,
an exciting factor here in Daytona for a lot of famous
really
races.
since
And I can
the
promise
pandemic
you, every team
began,
is going to be trying to
I've
figure out
been
ways to go
fortunate
further
enough to
on
kind
less
of
fuel.
focus on
maybe check, you know,
growing my YouTube channel. So in a way, I'm starting to get to where I can do this a little bit.
On less gas.
Hey, James Dunn, appreciate the Canadian $5 there. Okay, Canadian $5 there. Appreciate that. Best place for a cheeseburger in my town. It would have to be a place called Jumbo and Delicious. They have some really good cheeseburgers. At least that's where I live at now. We're talking about where I grew up at. The Frosty Mug in Harrogate, Tennessee. Those are some really good burgers and fries.
It looks like these cars are just glued to the racetrack right here. If you look at them, like, you know, this doesn't look tough. Then when you start watching how these cars dance around from this kind of a shot, it's a whole new ball game. It really is a tough place to drive. I always love racing.
Claudia says she agrees. I'm gonna pick there.
Not sitting around riding.
Claudia, don't you be chatting and driving. You get home, okay? You can listen to the stream. Don't you be chatting. I'm on to you.
All night long. You see, we go to Talladega, and Talladega is a speed racetrack. You see a line go forward and a line
Yo, boy,
come back.
Burger, you said you played football there. You talking about Harrogate? What are you talking
Be
about?
on top of the wheel and stay on top of the wheel all night long. Make their adjustments, get their cars to work. Some guys won't, and they'll drop to the back.
And really, the key is on this racetrack. I mean, is
Charles Peterson says that donation is about $6.57 in American money. So appreciate that. A little bit more in American. Woohoo!
You always crack the throttle.
You spent less, I got more, so that all works out.
If you can keep the gas pedal down all the way to your pit stop.
Is that my wife in blue is a mod? Yes, it is. Mrs. B, Miss Claudia
Speaking of
B.
position, you can see the guys that are moving up through the field.
What year did I start watching NASCAR?
Jr. has been slicing
I can't remember if I started watching in 2003 or 2004. I think it might have been 03, but maybe it was
And Larry, I
04.
gotta tell you, Jeff Gordon's grabbing a handful. Oh, we got some trouble down the backstretch. Two
Oh.
cars, including
There was Mark.
sliding through.
Ooh, yeah,
The
he's
inside
done.
of the track in our first caution
As
of the
good of
night.
a season as that was in 2009, his race is over early. What a shame. That's a good looking car he had that year. It was so nice that they could literally swip the CarQuest and the Kellogg's logos, and the paint scheme still looked really good.
Get a look. You see the 17 car up there, and I think Mark was just trying to
So
slide
Matt
up
Kenseth
there
got
in
into
front of
him?
Matt, and they're just that was
Okay, yeah, that was just that arrow issue they had back then.
Yeah, and
Hey, Inside Uranus, good to see you, buddy. $2. That race was 11 years ago. Do I feel old? Yes, I feel old. I'm about to be 25 years old in just a few weeks, so yeah, I feel pretty old.
Give and take, and I don't think Matt thought that he was going to come up that quick either. I hate that for Mark, man.
Yeah, he was running 6th and 9th in the points coming into tonight.
How old was I when
up
this
on the high
race
side,
was?
and he's got a pretty good run there. I think Mark just closed up on him a little bit quicker than
like
he realized. I tell you, Montoya did a really nice job there.
14 at the time.
And you know, he got down through the grass, and we'll have to see what it did to his splitter.
This is going to give you a really good idea of what it really looked like. If you're running up high, all of a sudden you've got a pretty good run, and you've got a lot of room in between Mark and the wall. And it just closes up. And you hear Matt got out of the throttle.
He did.
So he did try to cut Mark some slack, but it just wasn't enough.
And one thing that happens when you're in Mark's position, I'm going to say this, and you know this, Wally, when you're on that inside and you got that wheel cut,
all right, well,
and
I'm going to use this caution as a break for a second. I'll be right back.
The car will begin to take off, and if you let off
Have fun in the
gas,
chat.
the car
Be
takes
back.
off twice as bad.
You're right.
It just takes off twice as bad. It loses the nose and it flies the nose. And I think Matt let off, Mark probably let off a little bit. But if you notice that white line in that replay, there's not a car length above that white line. Matt was as high as he could go. Mark came up, and they just were fighting for the same place on the racetrack.
And that's one of the weird things. It's so much different here at Daytona than Talladega. Exactly what Kyle said. It's almost like you've got to keep the thing matted to keep the downforce on the front of the car. If you get off the throttle, you lose a little bit of that downforce on the front. And especially in turn 2, these cars will take off on you. 5 laps, you could just nail it, and then all of a sudden, the car take off on you.
All right, Matt, first round of pit stops. You get the first call.
Mr. Second Place, the Blue Deuce. Kurt Busch peels off to his pit box. Slides right through his pit box. Locked him up. He's caught the air hose. Now backing up. This is going to be costly for Kurt Busch. A lot of spotters try to remind their drivers when they come in off the banking to make sure they don't lock up. Let's go further up pit road.
Jimmy Johnson tight in traffic, Matt. He has brought his car to a stop. It will be 4 tires and fuel. You see it happening top left of your screen. They will also make an adjustment, Marty. Denny Hamlin top and middle of your screen. The car was a little bit too tight for Hamlin. Half round of wedge out of the left side. He will win the race. Actually, Tony Stewart will win the race off pit road. Stewart was a little bit tight as well. An air pressure adjustment for Stewart as he leaves pit road.
I'm back.
Well, I tell you, I think that's going to cost
Be on your best behavior in there.
15, maybe 20 positions that slide through the pit.
Let's go get a drink.
That's a little tough this early, right? You know what I mean? But at least he's got time to recover from it.
You're watching wide open coverage of the Coke Zero 400 on TNT.
And then we talk to you. Watch the Xfinity Truck Series.
We're back
Yes.
live at Daytona.
Who doesn't watch
Coke
that?
Zero
If you're not watching that, what are you
Daytona
watching?
Powered by Coca-Cola.
Hey,
First round
I
of
see
pit stops completed.
Michael Marutz is in the chat.
Kyle,
Good to see you, buddy.
picked up on something in that Kurt Busch incident on pit road.
There's
that really
Jimmy is in
saved
third.
Yeah, we were,
So
you know, we
Betty's
were
happy
calling
to
the
see
pit
that.
stop when he came down pit road, and Matt was doing a great job of calling it. But watch this. This is something you don't practice. The 2 comes in, slides through the pit.
I can't believe I didn't have you as a mod on here, Michael. Now I feel bad. But now you are.
So that he doesn't run over the hose. He drops it back down in front of him. They go on and finish their pit stop. That is truly amazing to be that much on your feet.
NBR owner says he totally wasn't spamming while I was going. He was a good boy.
Boom! He runs through the side. You heard it hit right there. He picks the hose up.
Michael is now mod. No one say anything about Jimmy, or else he's gonna get you.
Team, you know, when something happens bad, you adjust to it quickly, and you lose time, but you don't lose as much as what he would have. Running
Michael,
over, the penalty of running over a hose, and everything else that goes along with that.
What if
Kurt's crew being listed at the bottom of the screen,
I don't know.
all led by
What if
Matt
William
Tyson.
doesn't want to help
And they
get him and Jimmy both in the playoffs this weekend? What if he tries to take the win for himself when it needs to be Jimmy in first and William in second?
Okay,
How are you going to handle
the
that, dude?
double file restart now on a super speedway.
And Hamlin took, that's I probably figured he would take the outside. Or wait, Stewart, did he come out of the pits first?
Stewart's actually the leader, and
so
he went to
took
the inside.
So I guess I might be a little bit surprised about that. But
we're back green.
You're back to racing here in Daytona. Lap 17 of 160.
Surprised about that, taking the inside, especially after the start of the race when he got beat off the line. And the 2 and the 24 went to the front. The 11 car didn't get a great restart there on the outside.
At DannyBTalks, what was your favorite race this year that isn't Daytona or Talladega? Food City 500 this year was really good. Overall, that was a really good race.
I talked to Tony Stewart and several other drivers about
I would say
this
that.
morning, or this afternoon, I should say, and they all said it really didn't matter where your car worked best. It was more who was behind you in line. If you felt like a car was behind you that could help push
You've got his
you
contact info at the interview tomorrow, so you'll handle it. Oh yeah,
push
Claudia
in the restart.
says Auto Club. Auto Club's my favorite. Yeah, of course that one. Auto Club. Woo, Bowman.
On Friday, or in the case of here, yeah, it was Friday when qualifying got rained out because that put him on the pole as a points leader, and the accolade.
This is iRacing, right? Can't tell because of my low quality. Yep, this is iRacing. Virtual Tony Stewart is leading everybody right
He
now.
only has to move a little distance to win the battle, and that's exactly what that 14
I just saw
did
Sam Hornish
under
Jr.
caution.
That's a
It's
guy I
great
ain't
pit
seen in a long
selection,
time.
especially under caution.
Jeff Gordon has moved back into the
Oh my
top
gosh,
10.
why are you saying there's black hole guy? I appreciate the $2. The Jimmy skeleton is still in the back of my car. What?
Here as he sits in the middle there. Ryan Newman is driving
Michael
the U.S. Army
Root says
Chevy
his favorite
Impala,
is
but the
Darlington
Army has
1.
some impressive
You like
vehicles
that
of their
one?
own. Let's see how they match up to NASCAR.
I didn't expect you to like that one.
I command the mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicle.
I drive the number 39 U.S. Army Haas Automation Chevy Impala SS.
Danny B, what is your favorite Jimmy paint scheme? I would say my favorite Jimmy Johnson paint scheme is one that a lot of people don't like. I love this 2010-2011 paint scheme. It was simple, but it worked so well for the Lowe's brand. I love that one. Hey Nicholas, appreciate the $5. Does anyone remember when Coke C2 was the main sponsor for like 6 cars for the Daytona Coke 400 and Jeff Gordon Pepsi wound up winning? I do remember that. That was really interesting. Like Coke spent that much money and then one Pepsi boy wins it.
I can conquer all terrain. Sand, mud, snow, ice,
Short track, intermediate, super speedway, and road courses.
I can take her for a swim into 3 feet of water without warning.
Floating rear axle suspension.
Nice try.
A pit stop for 4 tires and fuel in under 15 seconds.
My tires automatically inflate. The weapon station can mount a 50 caliber machine gun or 40
pretty
millimeter
awesome
automatic grenade launcher.
Tank right there.
There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Find out more at goarmy.com/racing. Where
I
can
miss
a
seeing the
marketing
Army cars
administrator,
out there. Army and National Guard cars, they always look really good.
watercraft engineer? Where can a doctor serve his community?
Which I guess we still see the Air
Treating
Force,
patients
but
around the world.
I miss the other branches of the military having cars.
Where can a student stay in school while expanding
Which I miss
his
Home Depot
education?
having a car too. I miss any hardware store other than Menards being in a sport. So
and gain an edge to get ahead. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Visit
I'm sure 48 fans really miss Lowe's.
Ryan Newman right now is running in 18th in the
Yo
US
Boy
Army.
Burger asks, what are my views of the University of Michigan?
Any of that stuff? Some
Man,
of it, yeah.
I'm neutral. Tennessee Vols. Go Vols.
I like the grenade launcher thing. I don't have one of
Do,
those on mine.
do I think there will be another 7-time champion? If yes, then who? I think there will be, but I think it's someone who's not even racing at this point. I don't think anyone who's currently racing is going to be able to do that. So maybe in the future one day, but no one who's currently racing.
Newman's pitting right next to the 2 of Kurt Busch. There is
Oh yeah, Michael, I'm sure you missed
them, but it's
NASCAR
not
from
full pit
2006 to
stall. It's only
2010.
about 7 feet.
But
so
you also
Busch
missed for good
went to
measure
his pit.
2013 and
While that motion was
2016, don't
going
you?
on, Newman came in. His angle was not good into his pit box. He then had to back up to try to get around the car that was
Juggalo
in front
Trey
of him,
23
the 96.
gave me
So he lost
$2.
valuable seconds here out
Appreciate
there.
that.
Slight air pressure change, but Newman's car's good.
Can you say
And you know,
a word
talking about pit
on the
boxes, let's
radio?
go back to the
No, you
first pit
can't.
stop.
And I'm not going to try to say it on my
goes
stray
out
meter.
in the race.
But thanks for the
Because of
$2.
pit selection. And that's why qualifying is so important. And when it gets rained out, if you're 25th or 26th or 27th in points, coming into a place like
7-Up
that, it doesn't
owned
make
by
any difference if
Pepsi
you
and
start
Sprite
27th
owned by
at Daytona,
Coke.
But your pit
I don't
selection
think
at
7-Up
Daytona
is independent, I
critical
think.
and can
I think they're kind of like Dr. Pepper, like no one really owns it. They might get bottled by Pepsi, but I don't think anyone owns it necessarily.
On pit lane, but it's really important who you're pitting with. Because, you know, sometimes those guys will come in and they'll block you a
DannyBTalks,
little
what's
bit.
my rod
Yes,
and
on
reel
purpose.
setup
I know it's hard to
for
believe.
use for bass? Trying to learn more about bass fishing. That's the thing. It depends on what kind of way you're going to be fishing. Like, I love finesse style fishing, but I can also go what they call power fishing. It just depends on what you're trying to do. So there's no good answer for that really.
And it made it safer for the crews and the crew members. And it makes
Danny
safer
Talks
for the
and your
drivers
dad?
too. And we still run into each other on pit road. You see it every week where people have. But imagine dodging people, tires, and everything else on pit road.
Patrick Carpentier.
Danny, I just tweeted you what I meant by the Jimmy Scotland. I'll pop over to Twitter real quick to see whatever this is.
Let's check in with Adam Alexander.
And how about Jeff Burton in the early going, bro? He started in the 16th position. He's worked his way to 4th. A combination of a good race car and good pit work. He made his way through the field on that first run despite a tight condition. They did make an adjustment at lap 14 when he came in, and now he has settled nicely in the top.
I don't know about you guys, but I love that Caterpillar car that year. The fact that they tried to make it look like it had the same, like,
RCR teams this year has been they spent
treads as a bulldozer looked awesome.
And not enough time focusing on their 1.5 mile and their 2 mile and their short track programs. And I think every one of those drivers has been a little bit vocal about that. So you would expect them to come here and put together.
You know what else thing was random? Chevrolet was running the Impala SS rather than just a standard Chevrolet Impala. Is it just me?
I wanted Daytona. That was pretty cool. But I looked for the 20 or for the 29 and the 31, the 33, the 07 for those guys to run good here tonight.
Yeah, and Adam talked about how
this is saying this is the most we've had watching these classic race watch-alongs before. We got 175 of you watching tonight. Appreciate that so much. Be sure to click the like button, and it really helps the channel out a lot.
Wide open coverage of the Coke Zero 400 on TNT. Let's listen in on Tony Stewart's live in-car radio communications.
Michael says he is undecided on how he feels about Eric Jones. How would you feel about Noah Gragson? I mean, he tweeted the pin. You know what's crazy? There was like 4 Dodges all grouped together right there, and then Dodge just went away like that within just like 3 years later. What? The freaking Burger King in the back seat.
Come on, King. Jam that one. Guys, we gotta modify this helmet. Hold that still, King.
Wow.
Well,
I love commercials back then. They were so much better.
The King is not actually riding along with him, but this is a great view of exactly what is going on and how hard
Yo Boy Burger wants a shout out at lap 78. That's a long ways from now, so how about a shout out right now?
And you can just see what he's doing. He's working on that steering wheel. That's a good handling race car. Hopefully tonight we'll find you a guy that's really struggling. But it's a lot of work. You see him going down into turn 3 here, and you'll see when you turn that wheel, it's not easy. You're struggling with that thing.
I got to be honest, when that branded content first started, I thought we were in car with Tony. Okay.
Kind of caught you off guard.
Until I looked over there and saw your lips not moving, and I knew it wasn't a Godzilla movie, okay? So we were okay.
Right. Good line. I like that. That was well
done. We're still pretty early in this race. If y'all are just now joining us, we got on lap 27 now lap 28 of 160. Tony Stewart is currently the leader. Jimmy Johnson is in second, Denny Hamlin's third, and it looks like it's a little bit further back to, I think, Matt Kenseth is back there in fourth.
What are you hearing from down there? Yeah, Mark behind the wall right now.
It's kind of funny how, like, they're not in a huge group, like, they're kind of separated a little bit, but, well, now it looks like Matt's kind of gaining up to Denny there a little bit. Oh, caution's going to come out here.
Yeah, we do. It's Casey Mears, the same spot.
Casey Mears. I forgot he drove that car. Oh, backed into the wall. About saved it. Just about saved it.
I can't believe he jumped off the brake and let that thing roll.
Yeah, man, that's where you jump on the throttle.
Yeah,
at least.
And look, it's easy to sit up here and criticize, so let me say that. I apologize. But I really thought that when he was on the brake...
Yeah, Michael, I agree with you. They hardly do any commercials of drivers anymore. Like, I think Chase Elliott's about the only one I've really seen, like... used to then it was they had a whole Coke commercial like with all the drivers, and really I don't even see much of the Coca-Cola Racing family commercials anymore like I used to.
We were talking about earlier. I think getting off of turn 2, the thing just getting away from you. Watch, he's down on the bottom. No, actually the 12, but he's still the 07 was going up, the 12 was coming down.
And I'm going to say something. He has it saved here. I think he's got a flat right front tire.
Oh, yeah, I think he did blow a tire.
No, yeah. He just rolled it back. He does have a flat right front tire, but he just let that thing roll
But you'll
back.
see that a lot in turn 2. I mean, you know, you lose the nose.
Look at Strimmy just come down.
It was Strimmy. Never mind, he didn't have a flat right tire. David Strimmy just got loose and ruined it all for Casey Mears.
A whole lot about that one.
No.
Wow.
I got it. I don't got it.
Who remembers the Gillette Young Guns campaign? I do. I especially remember when they got John Cena involved in the advertising for that.
Clear low behind 07 if you want it. 2 back to 2x2. Anything you need right now, all clear.
Wow. That was a great angle. That really showed that the 12 car just took up all the racetrack, and Casey couldn't do a whole lot about that.
Casey could do nothing there. The 12 car changed lanes. It's like, I don't know where the 12 car thought he was on the racetrack or if it bounced and it took off that way, but I mean, he come down a half lane.
And if it wasn't for the 07, it would have been the 12 car spinning down on the infield and probably hitting the wall.
Yeah.
Because the 07 straightened him out.
Well,
that's pretty fun. Drifty Boy says he has LEDs in his room, and every time yellow comes up, he switches to the yellow. That's pretty fun.
On this racetrack.
Second caution, second time down.
I probably could do that some of the LEDs in here, but in order for you guys to even see me, I have to have there's like 2 lights in here to kind of make everything look good and professional in here as much as I can.
Jimmy Johnson said the car started balanced, then it went top.
Hey, Blue Jimmy, I am doing good tonight. How are you?
Tires fuel, they will make an adjustment. Their service being completed. Top left of your screen, Marty Snyder. Vinny Hamlin in the middle on the top of the screen says the car is too tight. They're actually going to add a piece of tape to the grill. They also make an air pressure and
Michael, splitter life.
Tony Stewart said, I want more of what you gave me last time. Half pound in the right rear, also up on the track bar. And once again, hold serve here on pit road, Ralph.
Great job by that crew on the 14.
26,
Jamie McBride.
Yep.
You're watching wide open coverage on TNT.
Michael, you're a man of danger and chaos. You just want to see someone run for the grass and rip that splitter right off.
Coca-Cola. Pretty 4th of July. There you see Tony Stewart up at the front of the field. Second time his crew has beaten everybody else off of pit road. Fans, let's see how Sprint can help when you can't watch the race. Only on the Now Network.
So, fun fact, before I started streaming this tonight, I was about this close to accidentally beginning streaming on the Icebergs channel, because last time we did the weekly podcast, I had to use like his stream key to stream on my end. So yeah, that would have been embarrassing if I hit start streaming. Next thing I know, Jarrett's like, "What's going on?"
Ted is a man of his word. When Ted bets he'll mow the lawn in a dress on race day if he's wrong, Ted mows a lawn in a dress.
What's the next race I'm going to? It's going to be. It's going to be Talladega. I bought tickets to that a couple days ago. Me and a few other friends will be going to it. So Talladega is the next one I'm planning to go to. And that might be the last one I go to this year. Just because of, not too sure what can and can't happen. I would love to go to Martinsville this year, but with Richmond having to be held without fans, it's likely Martinsville won't either.
That actually explains a lot, doesn't it?
Who's that coming down the pits?
A lot right there.
Oh, it's Casey Mears again.
Tony Stewart back to the inside for another restart. Last night in the nationwide race, all the leaders chose the bottom for restarts.
Now, I think you'll see that outside lane hang a little bit longer this time, Kyle.
There's David Reagan in the UPS car. That honestly wasn't a good-looking paint scheme that year. I didn't like it. I liked what they changed it to in 2011, but that first year the UPS was with David Reagan. I did not like that paint scheme. Like it had a much cleaner, classier look with Dale Jarrett and David Ridman, but I didn't care much for the David Reagan one at all.
But when we looked at them, they didn't necessarily work the way we thought they were going to work. And that's because some of the guys that were up front I don't believe everybody that was up front, all the Cup drivers, were comfortable running with those guys last night. Clint Boyer wasn't comfortable running with some of the regulars over there. So it's different. Just like you say, they're not comfortable.
Oh, yeah, Michael. I hated the way UPS looked on Carl Edwards' car. They did awful at that one.
New leader, Denny Hamlin, back out front.
Whoa!
Kyle Busch stuck to the bottom. Denny's got to go down there and block that.
I don't know if he's blocking or is he trying to get that push, because Kyle was coming. And if you can time it just right, look up in the mirror, which you drive these cars as much in the mirror than you do out the windshield. You see a guy coming, you want to get up in front of him so you can get that push.
Elliott Sadler has moved his way up towards the front, too. He's in that black and yellow number 19.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We got Elliott Sadler in the 19 car.
Started back in the 23rd position. Another one of those Dodges. I've been watching these Dodges, and they're flexing their muscles just like they did in the Daytona 500. Remember, Elliott led up to 1 lap to go in the Daytona 500 before the rains moved in. Matt Kenseth got by him just 1 lap prior to the weather moving in. And remember, Richard Petty.
I forgot that. I'm glad Larry McNeil said that. I forgot that Elliott Sadler almost won the 09 500.
Yeah, he really felt like that one got away from him, too. Sadler.
Gosh, now I'm sad. I wish Elliott Sadler would have won that, because Matt Kenseth obviously ended up winning another one.
Yeah, Ralph, and I was going to reiterate what you said. He said that
Stingy,
earlier,
Matt.
that he does feel like that is the one race that got away, but as a matter of fact, it's given him a heck of a lot of confidence here tonight. He did get on the radio, talk to crew chief Kevin Busker, and just say, I'm a little bit tight, but they feel like they made good adjustments. He took 2 tires on the last stop, and so far, so good
Jimmy
for
Spencer
Elliott
can't
Sadler.
say race the truck. That was a classic. That's classic from UPS. I remember you could play that. You could play NASCAR 06 driving the UPS truck.
Away from him and drove back down to the bottom of the racetrack. That's the first time I'd seen Tony, and I want to go on the record here. First time I've seen Tony off that yellow line all night long. Once they dropped the green flag and he started on the pole, he stayed.
DannyBTalks, can you please do the rise and fall of Brad Keselowski Racing? Yeah, that's certainly one I'd like to do. Gotta find time to sit down and write that.
You see the 18 car and you see the sparks right here. That's kind of fuel.
Who was my favorite driver from 2009? Well, at the time I was a Dell Jr. fan, but other guys that I would have liked in 2009. Brad Keselowski, when he was racing in the Nationwide Series, he was my guy back then, racing the 88 Virginia Motorsports. Liked all the Hendrick guys. Thought it was cool. Joey Logano being so young, liked him. So I was happy when he, got a win, even though it was by rain. I thought that was pretty cool.
Coors Light, the official beer of NASCAR.
David Redman, liked seeing underdogs like that doing good.
Through there, in that middle lane, not where you want to be. And look at what's happening to Casey Kane. It gives you a quick indication of why you don't want to be there.
Yeah, you're right. It's crazy back here right now. And this is what we were talking about earlier, where these cars start dancing around, and you get a run. You really have to be careful, and you don't want to be in the middle here, Ralph. You're right. You're looking for a spot. You're looking for that spotter to go clear. Now he's in line again.
Outside 33.
And breathing.
Clear.
Because you're holding your breath when you're in the middle like that. Trust me.
Well, I'll tell you, when you watch it, you hold your breath for the guys. Joey Logano's, who we're riding with, who finished 4th last night in the Nationwide race, only got 40 laps in the Daytona 500. So in the Cup cars, not a lot of experience.
I like the car he had that year. I have the 2008 fully digital car that he had in the Coke Zero Sugar 400 that year.
And look at this. See the run he gets when he runs that high line?
I like the one they had in 09 where they incorporated something like black, because when they used in 08, you just couldn't really see the logos as good or the numbers. Like, they should have done what they did with the Casey Mears car from 2007 and just made all of it neon. Like, that looked a lot better. You could see it better, popped out more.
I'm telling you, as a driver here, you just about want to wear
the 2009 one looked really good.
Teeth are sore when the night's over from people banging on your bumper. But that's part of the racing here, because you saw him come off the corner, get that run. He couldn't go the inside because the 99's on his left rear quarter panel right there. He can't tuck back across there, but he's got to bang on the
DannyBTalks said, I like the Clint
moving.
Boyer 33 scheme. Yes, I thought that was really good. It flowed well. Had a good, it was simplistic, but didn't look too over the top or anything like that. It was good to incorporate different schemes, like with Cheerios, Hamburger Helper, Wheaties even. And they used the same like paint scheme, just changing up the colors, obviously.
He lost 5 car lengths, 6 car lengths, and all that was, of course, he had to breathe it because the guys were wrecking in front of him. But what I'm saying is, that's a classic example why you can't get off the throttle at Daytona. And Allmendinger is sideways off before.
Where is my wife? She's actually, I think she's about back. She should be back. She should be here in just a few minutes.
Sideways. AJ did a great job down here in February in that 44 car, and I know, just as you said, this was a bright spot for Richard Petty Motorsports, and they were looking forward to coming back down here.
Oh, hey, I'm joined by somebody now.
Kurt Busch got kicked way back after that bad pit stop.
Claudia's here. Y'all be on your best behavior. All right.
It's
not just me and the boys now.
He's provided a lot of excitement out on the racetrack.
There is girls in the chat. I've seen Miss Julie Miller said it's her first community race, so she's happy to be here.
I feel like we're loose, Ted. I'm weirded out by the front springs and the shocks. I think we're too soft with the front springs, too aggressive with the front shocks. It goes through a bunch of mood swings. I don't know what to change to make it any better.
Now the car was loose on the first run.
You got some Subway here, don't you?
Yeah, Matt Tryson called for an air pressure
Subway,
change.
official sponsor of Carl Edwards in this race. So there you go.
Is that what he's driving?
Yeah, he's on the Subway
When he
car.
says aggressive on the front shock, I think it means he's got like either a lot of rebound or bump. But what's happening is he's going over the bump, and it's hitting the right.
You didn't miss too much. We still got a long ways to go. The only cautions have been Mark Martin spun out and Casey Mears spun out.
When the front's panned, then the motion and the momentum or the energy of the car can only go to one place. It goes to the rear of the car, the wheel bounces,
I guess
and it gives him that loose feel because it
Yep.
never
I was about to ask, and I think I saw it as soon as I was about to ask.
With the soft springs and the bump stops,
And
they
I
run
think
down.
the commentary team then was, I'm thinking Wally Dallenbach, Kyle Petty,
The world's most refreshing beer, Foss Brewed Coors Light, the official
can't
beer
remember
of
who the other
NASCAR.
one was. Maybe Matt Yoakum's part of the team. I know Larry McReynolds was part of the team too. It was so weird in 2009. Larry McReynolds was a commentator on Fox. He did stuff with the Speed Channel, and then he also was just like the crew chief analysis for TNT.
Wow.
So he worked for so many different companies back then.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
The world's hottest sport meets the world's most refreshing beer. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the official beer of NASCAR.
Ralph Shaheen, that's one of the other guys who's doing commentary.
Once we got past lap 3, Denny Hamlin and Tony Stewart, between the two of them, they've led
This
every
Julie Miller says, "Hi, Miss Claudia. I no longer feel like I'm the only girl."
You are not the only girl. I just got home from work,
He's in the
that's why
hauler,
I'm
but the
joining
39 Ralph of
late.
Brian Newman.
Usually I was supposed to get off at 5, and we just had so much to do at work
and his
that
father, Greg
had
Newman,
to stay till a
keep
little
an
after
eye on
7.
my right side. I just stuffed it in the fence. We may have to hit pit road for a tire.
Now, again, guys, we are still pretty early in this race, and I do want to say, appreciate Mr. Dave W. for uploading these races to YouTube. Be sure you give some love back over to Dave and subscribe over to his channel.
Well, I know we're all looking to see if we can see something on Newman's car.
Yeah,
Here maybe we can...
He's just going to settle in right now and try to feel this car out. And obviously, he's just going to...
You know, that was something
Army
we were
versus
talking
National
about earlier
Guard.
today in the meeting, how you guys feel things and how long you wait and the different things you hear and feel out of the car.
Well, you know, I used to say all the time, you know, your
That
butt
Aaron's
never
car
lies.
right there looks really
What that
good.
race car is telling
Yeah, I
you what
do
you're
like that.
feeling in the seat, you can never second guess.
He always had
I'll second
good-looking
guess my crew
Aaron's
chief.
paint
Yeah, I'll
schemes, David
second guess
Redmond
the tire
did.
guys. I'll
Really, a
second
lot
guess
of those
everybody, but I
cars
won't
in
second
2009
guess
look really
my butt.
good.
If that car feels like something's wrong, then you've got to believe it.
I like how simplistic the Kurt Busch Miller Lite car looks.
I think it's funny because I've never really watched races from this era. It's like I've mainly seen them like these cars in like diecast form.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's funny. It's like seeing them on the track.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a different year, but like between 08 and 09, they didn't really change much, did they?
The car didn't, but the paint scheme did.
Well, yeah. But Danny has a collection, like a little small collection of 2008 diecast. It has with the Hendrick set and
Yeah, I've got all 4 of the Hendrick cars from 2008, plus an added Casey Kane and Tony Stewart car.
What about the Kyle Busch?
Oh yeah, I've got that Kyle Busch. I've got Kyle Busch in it's a color chrome, I think is what it is, and it's autographed by Kyle, autographed in Bristol.
one thing NASCAR has done, they put so much padding and so much racing.
I appreciate the $2 there from, I'm just going to call it Seabass, the way it looks. Hello, Danny. Remember the old saying, shake and bake. I'm sure there'll be a lot of shake and bake in this race tonight.
Oh, yeah. Like it drove the frame rail in. These cars,
I love that
they've got
movie.
about 2.5 foot or 2 foot of padding, or
that's one Paul Montoya going really slow.
It's like a foam in the right side, and the doors don't cave in, so they don't lose their structure. And as we look at the 39 car, you get a decent view of him. Yeah, it's scraped up, but it doesn't look. But what it doesn't do is when you hit that right rear and it moves that rear to the left.
I forgot there was a 44 car being drove by AJ Allmendinger.
Lindsay, the 42 of one Pablo Montoya visited pit road. What'd they do?
Well,
I can't remember who's in the 43 car.
Tire. This is the right front
Bobby
tire.
Labarne,
Juan said he felt there was a problem. He felt it possibly going down. And take a look at that shredding that you see on the outside. They brought him in. They had no other choice. They gave him new tires. And look at that. Right now, their focus is on staying back on that lead lap, guys.
No, he was not having that's a bad year in general for him.
What team was Ryan Newman with in the 39?
Stewart House Racing. This was their first year too, by the way.
Okay.
2009 they started.
Wait, 43?
Yeah. Reed Sorensen. Wow.
The racetrack was green, and they were the right rear a little bit. When they went to the night practice,
yeah, no, 2009 was Stewart House Racing's first year. Tony drove the 14 with primarily Office Depot and Old Spice was his sponsor, and then Army was primarily the sponsor for Ryan Newman. And this race, though, Tony's in a Burger King car. And some races, have you ever heard of tornadoes before? Like you go to a gas station.
They're almost like a taquito?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were a big sponsor of Ryan Newman back then. Cool. And they were really cool too, because like they would implement it at the track a lot too. Remember when I went to Bristol, they had like an actual tornado show car set up, and they was giving out free tornadoes to the fans. Like I'm telling you, back in 2009, it was peak fan integration at the races. Like it was way better than this today.
Yeah, one of the things I remember you were talking about tasting the tornadoes. I think it was one of my first races at Bristol. It was like Smithfield was having this big like display thing, and there was like a photo booth. Like you took like a little strip, and then they had samples. Do you remember that?
I do.
But I don't remember what year that was. That was
so
2016 or 2017.
Come on, Smithfield, bring the free bacon to the fans.
Trying to get down on air pressure a little bit.
I think there was a thing, like it was a raffle, like you sign up, like you were saying that. I really think that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like you putting your info. Like, that's one thing I miss about being at the track is all this kind of fan stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word dangerous, but if there's if it's on the edge a little bit,
with COVID, I mean, I'm thankful we even get to go to a race. We went to the All-Star race last month, so I was happy we even got to go. NASCAR really trying to make a push to get fans at the track, whereas other sports are saying, forget it, we're not even trying.
Yeah, like we'd love to go see the Vols play this year, but we're not sure if we'll even be able to.
Sorry. But I think, would you say some NFL team was not even having fans?
Yeah, I know Los Angeles, both the Chargers and the Rams said they're not going to have any fans.
Yeah, so I appreciate that NASCAR is making an effort, but I do miss those other things being at the track. But
I'm going to assume you know who we
one
are.
step at a time, I guess.
The German army's heard of you. Probably heard we ain't in the prisoner taking business. We in the killing Nazi business. Cousin, business is booming.
I didn't realize this movie was this old.
An American Secret Service
It's called Inglourious Bastard, which is about World War II, but I didn't realize it was this old at this point.
Well, we're all tickled to hear you say that. The German High Command is throwing a gala.
I remember the director of Quentin Tarantino was from East Tennessee, and it was all over the news back then. Back, when I lived out there.
Right. We got Tony Stewart leading, is that?
Yeah, Tony Stewart is leading. Kyle Busch in the Interstate Batteries car is second. Matt Kenseth is third. Jimmy's fourth.
One Pablo is down the lap, right?
Yeah,
okay.
he's lap down.
That was great by
so there's 1, 2. Okay, we got a pretty good race.
Right past.
All right, first 50 laps are down.
He was a second slower than the rest of the pack with nobody to help him.
Yeah, but you're a sitting duck out there. You're running by yourself a second and a half, sometimes slower, and they're going to catch you. They caught him in 3 laps? He left the pits, and they caught him in 3 or 4 laps.
DannyBTalks and Claudia, what is your opinion on stage racing?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it makes it pretty entertaining.
Some races where it's kind of stale, there's
when you're up,
no wrecks, no cautions, nothing. Where it's just like long green flag runs. I love it because you're going to have at least some kind of caution. Break it up. And I'm fine, if there's a dominant car all day, and they deserve to win. But at least they have to go on a restart. It looks like they earn it instead of just them getting a blah 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 second lead. I love it. I know some people don't like it because it may be a gimmick, but I love it.
This race right here could have used some stages. Look at this. It's kind of weird how there's a few cars up there, but then look how separated everyone is.
Yeah, especially at somewhere like a super speedway. Get them all smushed back together, and
really get off on these
go from there. Maybe it makes it more entertaining.
Top 5, Stewart, Kyle Busch,
they added what stages in
Jimmy Johnson, and Busch, Marty.
Okay, well I started watching late 2016, so I really don't remember watching races without it. That took me the longest time to figure out what was going on. I remember when NASCAR put something out on social media trying to explain what stages were, and I'm like, okay, so you get a playoff point if you win, and if you get these other points, and what's this green and white checker? I remember trying to figure it out. I was like, I did not understand.
Sometimes you hear drivers when you're monitoring the radio, they'll say, "Let me know when."
Someone said, "I thought you were doing 2007 Daytona Fall. What happened to that?" In case you missed it, I put out a poll, and that one at first had the lead, but 2009 Coke 0400 ended up winning by a good margin. So that's why we're watching this
time of the race and say, "Okay, let's just settle in here."
And plus, it works out. We're going to this, Coke Zero Sugar 400 this weekend, so it's good timing.
52 of 160 laps. And then we'll make our move later.
Adam, we thought
I'm sure we might watch 2007 Fall Talladega, before Fall Talladega.
To have an optimistic attitude, Ralph, because he has dropped back, as you said, to the 24th position. He came on.
And one thing I kind of said that before Bristol, we might watch the 2009 Scott's Turf Builder 300 because that was the first race that I ever went to.
Okay.
It's been a struggle this evening for the 88 bunch.
We touched on it. As we listen to him going to the corner, let's just listen to the throttle, because this is where you start getting off the throttle when your car's not handling. Let's just ride with him here a little bit. He's got a lot. Yeah, see? He's backing off the throttle. And that tells you that his car's not handling, because if he just stayed on the gas, he'd go up and hit the wall.
2018 Charlotte on Charlotte weekend. Well, the whole point of this is to watch race that Claudia's never seen before, so...
So this is where these guys really start driving.
Was that the main Charlotte? Wait,
that's hard on the right front.
They said we should watch 2018 Charlotte, and you would have seen that. So.
Load that right front, then you're standing in the gas, and you're really forcing the issue on the right front. So you're not letting off of it, letting it breathe.
Coke 600?
Oh, if you're talking about Coke 600, we were there.
Yeah, I was just saying. Wait, who won that one? Yeah, Kyle Busch.
Who? You already forgot? Didn't take you back already?
I know, right? I think did Kyle Busch dominate that race?
Oh, he did by a big margin. It didn't matter about no stage racing. He just.
And this is a terrible thing to say.
It's like Kyle Busch took his belt off and just started whipping everybody.
That or the Roval. I don't know which one they're talking about.
They're talking about the Roval. That was more interesting.
That was a great race. I enjoyed watching that. I mean, I've already seen that. Yeah, one fun thing about that. Well. Was Danny had to work that day, so I watched with my dad, watched the race, and it was the cutoff race, so it was back and forth, who's in, who's out, who's in, and so I knew Bowman had made it through, later on that night. Danny gets off work, and so he did not know what happened. And I said, you got to watch this race. So we rewatched it. He still didn't know what happened. And it was hilarious watching him freak out. Oh, no, Bowman, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. And I was just like, haha, no, he's going to. Like, it was so funny. But that's what I'm going to have to do with Daytona this weekend. Because I have to work, and so I'm probably going to get to watch it Sunday at some point. So that'll be a hard thing to do, stay off social media and whatnot. I don't find out. Stay off YouTube, stay off Twitter.
No spoilers on Saturday for Claudia, just like no spoilers tonight.
Give me the usual, make it fast.
And literally, no spoilers. They have wings on the car, not spoilers.
Don't forget
I think it's cool here how they're showing the commercials they need to, but they're showing them in a way where it's incorporating like NASCAR people, like they're doing they've incorporated NASCAR into these commercials, and also they're doing it where it's still flag to flag coverage of the race pretty much.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is that NASCAR now does what they call side by side.
Yeah.
So essentially they take the horizontal view and just trying to make sure I said the right thing, and like shrink it down so it's like side by side, so the image isn't, the race isn't very big.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I like this. The race still stays full screen, and then you've got the ad that just kind of pops up over it. Just it covers up kind of almost non-important stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, at this point, when you're doing it, and this is a terrible thing to say, but you're hoping somebody else blows a tire before you. Oh, yeah. That's all you're hoping right now. If it happens, you hope it's somebody else.
And from a driver's standpoint, it is always somebody else until it happens to you.
Fans, fast food doesn't have to slow you down. Race over to Subway restaurants today for a sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
I got to talk about Subway and then showing Tony Stewart's Burger King car.
Larry McReynolds and Wally Dallenbach, and guys, what a race we have for fans today. Wally, let's get right into it.
It just went backwards. It's showing a part we already saw.
What should we be looking for?
Well, I think it's always going to be about fuel strategy.
Because we're showing the same Subway commercial again.
I know I should have eaten something
earlier. How long is this?
I don't know what happened. I didn't touch anything.
400 miles. Man, there's no way I can make it that long. You know what would be good right now? A delicious, fresh Subway sandwich.
And we're clear. 2 minutes, guys. Back in 2 minutes.
I'm not going to appreciate this commercial.
I wonder if they told those people that he was around they were going to be doing a commercial. It's like, what's this guy doing?
The usual. Make it fast.
Sure thing, Mr. McReynolds. Coming right up.
Do they really have Subway at the track, or is that just being funny?
I think it's just being funny, but I don't know for sure. Oh, I don't think my wireless charger is working. Did he go get a phone charger?
Great job. Gotta go.
Appreciate it. Bless you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to NASCAR on TNT Live. Mark Fight again alongside Larry McReynolds and Wally Dallenbach. And again, guys, we talked fuel, going to be such a big part of the race today.
Fuel up today at Subway restaurants where you can grab fast food that will fill you up without slowing you down.
Subway. Eat fresh.
Matt Kenseth
gotta plug
had
y'all
dove
up so I can
to
see the
pit road.
chat.
He was running third at the time, and third caution is now out.
This would be perfect for him.
Matt Kenseth.
Because he's pitted already, and he was on pit lane already, and all those guys are going to come in a pit, so this should put him in front.
DannyBTalks, did you go to Homestead 2019? I sure did. That was me and her's honeymoon.
Was that a tire?
Looks like it.
That was a caution out for one tire debris
Montoya
everywhere.
was coming. So don't forget, Montoya now is going to take advantage of that. He'll get the lucky dog.
And look how it's torn the
Sam Cornish Jr. in Penske Racing number
And that
77.
foam, you see that foam coming up? That's the foam I spoke of a minute ago. The foam that I
Penske
spoke about a
had
minute
a
ago in the side of
77
Ryan
car?
Newman's car
Yeah,
that
for
keeps
quite a
the
few
sides
years,
from
actually.
caving in. As that tire comes apart, it just rips that foam apart.
Boy, I don't know what that is hanging there underneath the car. Right under. Looked like it was important, though. Whatever it was.
It's like when you put it together, you have that piece left over. He was running 10th, Matt, on the 77.
Drew Blickensderfer talking to the Goodyear engineers about the right rear tire that came off the 17. Much like it was in practice when he had the issue, the
See, 206 people are watching us tonight. Appreciate y'all being here with us. Be sure to click the like button. Helps out the channel out a lot.
And they are still talking over, but this was the concern that some teams had after seeing some of the tire issues from practice. The 9 also has some blading on the left front 2 stops ago.
On the left front, Matt?
Oh, yeah.
Left front.
Really?
DannyBTalks, you should stream the race on Saturday Live. That is against the law. You cannot do that.
And the reason why you're more surprised by the left front is because it's the right front that's taking all the load.
Yeah, usually.
Kyle Sanders says he's going to head out. Well, see you later, Kyle. Appreciate you stopping
We've
in.
not really heard anything about left side tires.
We'll be here for a while tonight, so if you want to come back in.
What do you think, Larry?
Well, there's two concerns on pit road about tires. One is what we're seeing happening, what we saw at the 17 car and what we just saw with the 77. Matt Yoakum and I talked to Drew Blickensderfer this morning. The other concern was the lack of tires. Teams were
it's
only
not just
allowed
because of
6 sets
YouTube
of
there,
tires.
Daniel.
When you
It's
think
just
about it,
against the
they're
law
fixing to put their
to
fourth set of tires
stream
on
the
this
race
car,
and
and we're still a good 20-something laps
uncertified, broadcast. When it's live, it's only licensed for the folks at NBC to show. So you can't do that.
You can see everything they've got to clean up on the racetrack now as well. You're watching wide open coverage of the Coke Zero 400 on TNT.
I should stream my live reaction to the race, not the actual race. I've done that before.
Back to the Coke Zero 400 at Daytona, powered by Coca-Cola.
Didn't really have too much of people who liked watching that, so I just kind of not really do that. But also, like, Claudia can't even be here to watch the race live, so no need to give her any reason to check out my channel and spoil anything for her on Saturday.
All the way to the Atlantic Ocean where all the
I'll be busy working, so I don't have time to get on YouTube.
Her story where she told me about where she told y'all about the Charlotte Roval race and she had to not hide everything from me. I got to do the same thing for her.
It's not going to be right sides and fuel.
No
not this time.
I mean, I like watching Daytona and whatnot, but I think what makes it more interesting is just because the Jimmy Johnson, Matt DiBenedetto, and William Byron just all right there on the cut line, so you can have, somebody red get caught up in the big one, get out,
Let's go further up here.
I'm going to be interested to see their strategy along with, like, what if you have as you would maybe say an underdog winner, somebody that comes from the back that's not even in the points, playoff bubble talking, somebody like a Ricky Stenhouse, we always say that. I mean, he has 2 super speedway wins. Somebody easily like that could come out and shock everybody, and then forget being 16th place, trying to thinking being 16th is good enough. They need to have the mindset not like, oh, let's just do good enough. It's like, let's win the race, because you could have somebody else. So that's why I really don't want to find out who wins.
Yeah.
If it was just, another kind of average race, like mile-and-a-half race, I'd probably just say, hey, pick me the winner, kind of thing.
But Daytona is always very interesting.
That and being the
even though these are big pit boxes,
last race of the regular season, I think it makes it
as fast and tight as you
more
can.
interesting.
And there's
Who's your prediction? Who you think's going to win?
And that's why, and we say it all the time. Those guys that jump over those walls and change those tires and jack those cars.
It's probably, like, I feel like it's always somebody like Penske that ends up winning a super speedway. But they're more at Talladega.
To list some of the guys, because when you take a blow like that, man, that's a big deal.
I just don't know.
And those guys are athletes.
Literally, you could pick anybody.
No doubt about it.
And like, because, I mean, shoot, like, say somebody
and racing information,
could be a good super speedway racer and then just get taken out, by somebody else's, trying to go where they don't fit or,
These commercials here were funny.
Here's your target. Good luck.
Because somebody else's mistake, they could get collected. So not necessarily is it about who's best.
I want to see these commercials.
Our FedEx Camry is really running great. Very happy about it. What?
What?
Hey, kid.
I see why you want me to watch that. That's hilarious.
I'm telling you, back then, NASCAR commercials were a lot more common, and they were so good.
With Kurt Busch's tires on the tube.
The team and the Goodyear engineers looked over the tires that came off the 2-car. They
I know earlier
great.
you were talking about
now they've
Coca-Cola
got 3
Racing
sets
family.
left in the pits. When they get down to 2 sets,
that
then they can go to
reminds me
NASCAR and ask Goodyear for more
like
sets. Up until that time,
when they had that
now
commercial,
teams do fall out,
and
NASCAR's not disallowing teams.
But it was
to
like
pick up
Coke
tires
with like
from other
different
cars
sports, like there was
that
a
have
girl
fallen
bars,
out.
like You know,
And
football.
on the other end of the spectrum,
something
Kyle
about
Busch,
soccer.
Tony Stewart, their tires look
I'm
really
trying
good.
to think
The
what it
right
was.
rear
It
on
was
Kyle
like
Busch's car,
race day
a little
means
bit
it's
chunky
like
in
an older
spots,
guy
but
with the
otherwise,
mustache
very
who's
good. Tony
grilling.
Stewart's tires
And
almost impeccable. So
ice cold
it's odd.
Coca-Cola.
The guys
That
up
was
front,
about like
their
the
tire
last
wear
like
looks
true.
good.
we
Some
always
of the
do
other
like,
guys,
no,
not
hot
such a
dog.
good tire wear night.
Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah.
Problem
they were
for the
saying,
42
like,
of Juan Pablo
Coke was
Montoya.
good
He's being
with
black
costumes.
flagged. They say he's got something
Gatorade.
hanging.
We're trying to live a bit
See
healthier
it,
here.
Wally?
Must be on the other side.
Yeah, or
But,
it's come
I mean,
off the
this year they
car.
probably
Who
don't
knows
have
at this
many
stage of the game. But NASCAR obviously saw
NASCAR
it,
commercials
so
just because of COVID, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So,
But the other side
you know,
of the
they
car is
can't
the
be
side
really
that got hit
creative.
in.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
COVID
that's
gets
true.
a little bit better, you know.
Now,
Just options
Rodney
that they
sitting
can
there?
get more creative with,
Oh, there it is. Oh,
yeah.
wait. Yeah, he's definitely
you know,
got something.
marketing and whatnot.
Yeah.
Looks like that
advertisements.
might be just tape.
Field coming back to the green. Here we go. And Kenseth on the bottom with the restart. Same place everybody's been so far tonight.
I bet Eric Easton was happy to see Mike Kenseth up there.
Oh yeah, I bet he was too.
Kenseth had the lead when the green came out, but Larry, he's fighting to hang on right now if he can get a good shot from Hamlin.
DannyBTalks, did you know that Ford has won all Talladega playoff races since 2014? Yeah, that's actually right.
Well, there you go.
Well, wait, no, is it
When
right?
the caution came out, so when
Okay,
he
last
drove
year you
off
had
pit
Brian
road, he
Blaney.
was still on the lead
Okay,
lap.
no, it is right.
Everyone
I
else
think you
had
mean
to come
since
in.
2015, because
So basically, the problem he
2014,
had with the tires, it gave him the
Jamie
lead of the race.
McMurray.
You know another thing Larry dodged the
Okay,
bullet
and
on?
then the year
He was
before
the
that,
only one
we were
that came down pit lane.
well,
And
Danny's been to
sometimes
the
that's
last,
not
I
the
guess,
thing
what,
to do
two
in a
fall
restricted plate
Talladega.
race.
If we get to go this year, you know, if they hold fans, then it'll be third and three in a row for him.
Which we bought our tickets, so.
Which is crazy to think, like, well, I mean, Talladega, like, you know, we're in Tennessee, so that's a state away, but it's actually closer to us than Bristol is. Which is kind of funny, I think, just because Tennessee is such a wide state, you know, Bristol's like the very tip of Tennessee, so it's actually quicker. I think the closest track is Kentucky, and then Talladega, and then it's close between Atlanta and Bristol.
When you see him going through the corner, I don't know what he's saying about his race
and then
car,
not
but
too
it
much
looks
further
like it's a
Charlotte,
handful
which
right
is
now. He's fast.
kind of funny as well to think you can go all the way over
This is
there.
where you want your competitors to. You should wear black gloves so your competitors don't know how bad your car's driving.
So,
Because if they
no
can see your
surprise,
car's
we're in
going
2020 and Denny
everywhere, they're
Hamlin's
like,
later
"I gotta
right
get away from
now.
that guy."
Like playing poker, huh? You want to have the sunglasses on so they can't tell?
So they can't see your eyes, baby.
You're watching
Back then, his
wide
cars
open
looked really
coverage of the Coke
cool. I
Zero
liked the way Denny Hamlin's
400
cars looked
on
like
Did
that.
his diecast get DMP'd a lot as they do now?
Not really, because back then they would have so many different kind of FedEx schemes.
Like, would they look different? Like, because
they would look different.
I was gonna say he had, like, you can have like FedEx shipping, FedEx ground, and literally the only thing different is the word after FedEx. So it's like the actual.
Well, back then they had different colors for each thing. Like this is the FedEx. Like this doesn't even have.
When it like blue and green and.
Yeah, this doesn't even have like the FedEx word on the hood. It's like their little logo for like FedEx Kinkos or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So that was like blue, but then FedEx Express would be orange, FedEx Ground would be green.
Okay, so at least yeah.
There was like a purple one. Like they actually made them look different. Like back then they would sell about every single kind of Denny Hamlin card there was.
See, I think my personal opinion is why they don't get made is because he literally runs the same car every week. You know, versus like I know I've seen somebody on a Facebook page on my, like a group I'm in, and this person had bought like pre-ordered 6 Kevin Harvick diecast like several of his wins.
I was wrong. Joshua Burns corrected me. McMurray won in 2013, not 2014.
See what he's saying about the handle of the 48.
So
Okay,
yes,
so there you go.
they have won every once since then.
But that person had pre-ordered a lot of Kevin Harvick's, but he has ran so many schemes this year, you know, and even if it is Bush, Light, you know, it seems like they always change it up, which, you know, so almost everything he's won in it seems like it's something different besides obviously the Michigan sweep that looks the exact same.
Which I thought it was interesting. Eric Almirola, his Smithfield car, Like, they ran a different paint scheme at the All-Star race, kind of try to fit the configuration of the new number plates and everything, but they kind of just kept that same look afterwards. Like, they didn't go back to what they used since 2018.
But you heard him say the way he just turned it and loaded the right rear to help the car turn. And you've done that before. You know how it kind of rotates the car and makes it turn.
Why,
he's got his hand starting out at him at 9 and 3.
Denny's looks the same every week because he has a primary sponsor. There's nothing else to promote. You know, like for example, I like Chase Elliott, so he runs either Napa or Kelly Blue Book or Hooters. You know, he has several sponsors that
and he's won almost all of them.
So there, you know, there's different cars to get, whatever. But I guess
same thing for Alex Bowman at this point. Like his first win was different than his second win, so they're both distinct and unique.
I like this car.
Yeah, that's the 2009 one, so that's the one that Chases is modeling after.
I do like that. I know somebody asked you that question earlier. What was your favorite?
You're watching wide open coverage of the Coke Zero 400 on TNT.
But, I mean, that's great that, you know, Denny has a sponsor that sponsors the entire season, every single race. Like, you know, that's
what you asked for right there.
Yeah, that's incredible that a company is willing to fork up that much money, you know, to have their name on the car every week. That means they really want to be...
Really, if it wasn't for, like, I don't know, you know, sport clips or someone, you know, different on a rare occasion that just really wants to pay to take that race, it probably would just be FedEx going the whole season.
I'm not worried about when you come back. I'm worried about who you are when you do.
At DannyBTalks, what do you think of the Petty, Hamlin, Jordan, Toyota rumors? To find out more on that, tune in to Danny B Needs a Minute tomorrow.
I've seen Bob Proctor say something about that.
Yep.
But, I know Eric Kisep was very speculating that again on his.
Yeah.
And he was really going at, like, you know, seeing Denny Hamlin's shirt that he posted on, or like his outfit he posted on Instagram, I believe, his Instagram story.
Denny Hamlin back out front to 77 as Sam Hornish received the black.
So I don't know if you saw this or not. Noah Gregson been trying to mess with people today.
No, I haven't been able to.
He tweeted just one emoji, a pen.
And because people think he's like signing some kind of contract or something.
People are like, oh, he just signed up to 48. And more realistic, I'm thinking maybe he just signed a contract essentially with
if it gets your collar,
he's just trolling people. So,
that is so funny.
Then I saw someone else tweeted.
I know some people probably really got mad.
I saw someone else tweet like just a wrench, and then Noah Sweet tweeted like a paintbrush, and then I tweeted a carrot.
A carrot?
Yeah.
Winning this race last year, but Denny Hamlin told me this week, someday I'm going to win a plate race. They have run up front.
That's funny. Someday Denny Hamlin's going to win a plate race. Someday Denny will stop winning plate races.
You guys know the frustration of restrictor plate racing. You can have a fast
That's
car.
really funny.
It's not going to guarantee you the win almost all
When he won
the time. So
2020.
Denny wanting to keep it up front tonight.
Oh, you know, just his third Daytona 500.
Joe Gibbs Racing has won 3 of the last 4 races here at Daytona.
I think it was really funny.
Coke Zero, the only
I watched a clip of Denny Hamlin and his daughters that they did for Father's Day, which, you know, you used in your video for the NASCAR kids.
You're heading to Atlanta. An email.
Denny was asking his daughter Taylor, his oldest daughter Taylor, like, I think it was like, what was her favorite racetrack, or what was her favorite something? I don't know. I think it was maybe racetrack. And she said, or what's your victory lane, or something like that. And she was like, Daytona, because you win them all, or something like that. And I thought that was hilarious. But I mean, she's, I think, what, 7 or 8?
Yeah,
so, you know, the last.
Literally, since she could really kind of remember things,
yeah,
who has.
Yeah, you know, kids don't remember ages, you know, birth to, you know, 3 or 4. You know, most people don't. The earliest people probably have memories as 4 or 5 years old. So for her, you know, that is the last couple of years. So I think that was really funny that she said that. It's like, well, yeah, kind of.
A little bit further back, you'll see the double zero of David Rudiman. He started near the back of the pack tonight, and he's already up to 11th. There he is.
Okay. Claudia's trying to ask some dangerous questions
just
there.
in front of him, and Elliott Sadler.
Like Casey Kane's Budweiser car.
Matt watching the 9 and the 00 right now of Kane
it's
and
like,
Rudiger.
when we were watching races,
so
you
far
said,
for the 9.
oh, so-and-so hasn't won a race yet. You said, you're talking about when, I was like, oh, when they get the first race, and it could have been like this one or whatever. So I'm like, I can't, so I'm like, can't ask too many questions. I'll just keep my mouth shut.
Tony Stewart back to the lead. Or he's trying, he can't quite clear him. Now he's got him.
What, Jimmy?
Yeah.
And
his car's been driving very well tonight.
No changes. The cars on the outside, are they lapped down?
No.
Who's that black car? I can't see that.
That's Danny.
Oh, yeah.
Third now when he crosses the line that time. Third or fourth.
We got that, and Kenza, Jimmy.
No, 2 or 3 times to adjust on that car, to adjust air pressure, whatever.
I swear it was the World 17, no?
Now he's up there in front of the pack.
And Matt's not even in the DeWalt car for this race. He's in like the RNL Freight or something like that.
But is it yellow?
It's still yellow.
Okay, I'm not crazy. I'm like, I swear it was yellow.
It's like yellow and green.
Wait, did I hear that you didn't like the UPS car, or did somebody say they didn't like the UPS car?
I didn't like the UPS car.
I can't see it. It's not zoomed in enough. Why? What's wrong with it?
He's not even really towards the front. Oh, well, there he is right there. There's David Reagan.
Oh, I was thinking Carl Edwards.
Matt and Phil from the
UPS car now?
Not this year, but he was a few years later.
My friend.
I'm so confused. What makes me use Carl Edwards running?
Subway, we talked about this.
Subway,
it's
right.
danger
I
to
knew
me
that.
and the other drivers. Your right eye goes through the
As I'm eating my Subway sandwich.
You know, I think it's funny. In 2008, Subway sponsored Tony Stewart.
I think it's
and he's definitely kind of a bigger guy. And then they switched over to next year to Carl Edwards, who's like this fit athlete, kind of fits them better. And then Tony's got Burger King. You know, he's a bigger guy, probably enjoy a Burger King burger.
Watch his mouth, or I'm going to crawl in there.
You couldn't fit through the window.
You can't see.
Use the force.
There's no force.
There's a force. Just because you haven't found it doesn't mean it's not there.
It's like are all these ads like NASCAR related?
Pretty much, yeah.
I was gonna say like nowadays you have those like
even their Army commercial had Ryan Newman in it.
NASCAR on TNT Summer Series. Log on to NASCAR.com and click on TNT Race Buddy. Yep. Choose from 4 live camera angles.
Now you
get
see
up
those.
To the pit notes and chat with
what's
other
that?
race fans all
I
for
can't.
free.
They always
TNT Race
do that
Buddy
medication. It's
on
like
NASCAR.com.
you do, Grandpa. It's like it's like they're having
and now that's become a meme. Like
I know Jake Baskinger always tweets like you did.
Coke commercial. That's a great Coke Zero commercial.
You see that? Like you're amazing.
Even when we were walking into Bristol, there was a Geico commercial playing.
Oh my goodness!
You heard almost the entire arena go. That's not Doc Danny, that's the Vulture.
Great run up front on the
I love that commercial. That's so cute. It's like the little turtle.
These guys have just
but yeah, they don't seem too like creative. I mean,
a couple of times.
Even what's that one like? It's the Geico commercial when the bride and groom are living their wedding and they're like, I thought you got us some kind of ride or whatever, and it's like it's not even a Geico car. Like it could have even looked like Ty Dillon's car. Like if the Geico commercial, you could at least wrap it like Geico.
Yeah.
You know, if it was a company that just wanted to throw a race car in there, sure, yeah, that looked appropriate. It's like it's not even Geico colors. It's yellow and red.
Kind of have to go around because the cars are all jumbled up, but Denny Hamlin so far has kept it out front. Terrific night for the FedEx team so far. Hamlin very happy with the car. When I talked to Mike Ford this morning, he told me the key tonight, finishing. They are 6th in the championship standings, but only 84 points in the chase, so just a top 10 is really what they want. Tony Stewart, you can count on 2 things tonight. They won the race off pit road, and he's been on the bottom of the racetrack the entire night. Takes about 8 laps for that 14 car to come in, but he always finds his way towards the front
set up back
at the end of the
like,
run.
You know, today it's like when you're at how was the playoffs? Like how
so there'd be no reward for your wins or anything like that.
He's been on a roll, though, 3
you just
top
get the most
5s in the
points
last
that
6
day.
races. This
So what you do is you take your top 12 in points.
Crash on the racetrack. Stretch. Big problems going down towards turn number 3. A lot of cars in.
Wow.
Rudiman is in there. Gilliland is in there. Boyer.
David Rimmond's in there.
You see the 43 of Sorensen, the 83 of Vickers. There's Rudiman.
I forgot he was in there.
Smoke just pouring out of the 88.
He wasn't even having a good day to begin with. Like, he was never towards the front or anything.
No. The big accidents at Daytona happen almost always in the middle of the backstretch. Guys,
and by the way, we're at lap 78. Yo Boy Burger has been asking all night for a shout out on lap 78 because that's his football number.
I was going to say, did he know there was going to be a caution at 78 or something?
I don't know, but he says that's his football number. So.
Sorensen in the 43.
Here they are in a straight line.
Okay, here we go.
What happened?
not even sure where this one starts. You see the 12 car.
David Stremme again.
He gets into the
he caused an accident earlier
Casey
tonight.
gets in the back of him.
Yeah, and that's what happens with these
Was
cars.
that car
Sometimes
with
if you
Penske or
don't,
no?
if you're not dead
So
straight,
Penske had 4
when
cars?
you're hitting the guy in front of you bump traffic,
when did they not know
you're
the
going to
22?
turn them straight into the wall.
And you saw the 00 turn to the outside.
Yeah, and it's funny. It has the Verizon colors on it, similar to what they had in the Nationwide Series of Justin Allgaier that season. But it just has Penske on the side. I think that might have had something to do with. I think Alltel had been a sponsor of the 12 car for a long time. And Alltel got bought out by Verizon.
When you're behind
And
something like that that happened,
I don't know if it was something that they didn't. It wasn't that they didn't pay because they still, had Verizon sponsorship in their nationwide program. I think because Sprint was the sponsor of the Cup Series, they wouldn't allow another phone company. So I think what they did was they kind of get around that. They just put the word Penske on it, and they kind of subliminally advertised Verizon with Penske. I think that's the story on it, but I might be wrong.
They continue to run into each other down in turn 3. That spread over about a mile and a half or a mile of the racetrack.
And what happened was,
Sprint wouldn't let another phone company on cars because they had a whole issue with Jeff Burton and I think AT&T at the time because they was like, hey, we don't want anyone else promoting.
That makes sense.
But it was like, hey, they've already been in the sport since before you guys got here. We can't just get rid of them like that. But I think it was like same thing with when Monster Energy took over. They told all the energy drinks like, okay, you guys got to either renew or you can't come back while Monster's involved.
Just get this straight.
Just gets by. Now Junior's right behind him, and it closes up. And that's how quick it closes up. It closes up within a car length.
I'll tell you another one who was lucky was David Reagan, because when Rudiman comes back across the center of the racetrack, Rudiman almost drills him right in the door. He just disappears too fast.
When you're sitting in the race car, how many times have you closed your left eye or your right eye and grit your teeth? Because that's how
Kevin
you
Harvick
know
in the
it's
Penzel
I always
car.
like it when the crew chief and the guys come on and say, great job of driving, and you never move the wheel. You never move the wheel.
But you took
never
all the credit,
But
didn't
you
you?
take all the credit
on
There's
that
plenty of times the crew chief says, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? So you got to take them when you can get them.
Kevin Harvick on pit road, crew working on the front of him.
Front right there, it's going to bolt to the front. Halfway down the back.
Okay, why did they're under caution? Can you go back and explain the playoffs?
Okay, so
you got no points for
these band-aids these guys are doing right
there's,
now.
there's no reward for winning, and there's no stage points or anything like that. Literally, you're just trying to accumulate the most points. I don't remember the exact number you get for like each position or like that.
But do you get extra points for winning, or is it just like, no, first place got like 40 points,
You
second
get
place
like
got
the
39?
most points. You get some extra points for leading a lap. And extra points for leading the most laps, so I know that. And if you win, obviously you get the most points, possible
You saw the damage of the 24. He's second in points. You see
You get
Newman
points
on
for
pit
being
road. He's
first,
eighth in
but
points.
not necessarily winning. Like it wasn't like,
Vickers is
hey,
on
if you
pit
win the
road
race, you get an
right
extra
now.
20 points.
Right, because like at that point you've already been given at least 5 extra points for leading a lap.
Here they come, man.
Oh, that's true.
And a lot of people could at least try to get that, so you can kind of get a few more points than you would have gotten. So then after the last, after the 26th race of the year, they take the top 12 in points
So
then.
that's the regular season.
Yeah,
Okay.
they take the top 12, but then rather than being like, oh, Kevin Harvick did the best, so now he's going to be up at the top and have this much advantage for his playoff points and all that. No, they just like reset everybody else.
Everybody's zero.
Yeah, they bump everyone up to like 2,000 points, so they're like long gone from 13th, and they can just compete against each other now. So then, like 2011, for example, was a similar season of that, and Tony Stewart had been like meh all year, and only got like one win that season, I think. But then he goes out and gets like 5 or 6 wins in the chase, and he becomes champion because they reset everyone even, and then he had the best
So it kind of
chase.
it doesn't like really matter kind of how you do. You just have to do mediocre to get into that top 12 or whatever.
At the front of the field with Tony Stewart.
So then at the end of the season, it's just whoever has the most points
John in the
wins.
34.
Yeah.
Time to see what Sprint
I like
says
that
is happening
because
right now.
it's not all
only
these
on the Now
extra
Network.
like when you end, because, like, I'm sorry, but if we're looking at this year, I don't think Cole Custer or Austin Dillon has done enough to be in the top 16. Like,
it's funny, like, if we go by this style right here, Alex Bowman wouldn't even be, like, he might would maybe be around 16th right now.
Well, Cole Custer definitely no. Austin Dillon, I'm debatable. I mean, he's had some good runs here lately, which I had appreciated. You know, great for him. Cole Custer definitely not. Like, he's been
Welcome to the
who knows where all these races. So it kind of the current format it makes me kind of bummed out because like you could literally have anybody win and you're in, you know. So you're taking away from spots from people who are you know doing well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think you know people like William Byron and Jimmy. I think you know I kind of want to see them in the playoffs, but I don't want to see Matt DiBenedetto get kicked out because I'm like it's been a really good season for him. But I don't like the fact. Okay, so
next week, follow the world's best drivers
like
as NASCAR
this year, I don't like
heads to the
you know how we are now.
Tune in as coverage begins
I don't like the
Eastern
winning your in kind of thing. I like how used to you get rewarded. You know, who did best, you know, based on where you finished it, kind of average.
July 11th.
But what I don't like about how they used to do it is that, you know, you might know who potentially won the race or who's champion before you even compete in the race. Was it when, like, Chase Elliott won, like, an Xfinity title? It was, like, before he even entered the race, he was already champion.
Yeah, he knew about Phoenix that he won.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's boring. Why would you, like, what's the point of even racing? It's like, yay, I'm champion, and you're just running around for fun.
Yeah.
See, I'm sure not every year was like that, right?
Yeah, there's positives and there's negatives in both, I guess.
No, I'm saying, like, there was probably years that, like, what was that year that Ryan Newman and somebody that had the same points, Tony Stewart maybe, that Ryan Newman lost the championship because somebody had more wins?
No, you're thinking of 2011. That was Tony Stewart and Carl Edwards, not Ryan Newman.
No, you were saying Ryan Newman just did well, so this one season that he...
Oh, no, that was 2014, and that was in the same style of playoff that we have today. Where it was like, you know, whoever in the championship 4 wins the race wins the championship.
But it wasn't when you're in your style,
was it?
Yeah, it was. That was the first year they did it. But, however, Ryan Newman just kept putting himself in like the top 5 about week in, week out. He just never won a race.
Okay, but back to what I was saying, the Carl Edwards, Tony Stewart thing, 2011. Like, so it came down to the very end and you didn't know who won. That, I would enjoy that, you know, and...
I was hoping they would, you know, at first I was hoping, I hope it's kind of like the movie Cars, and they say, we're going to go do one more race of just these 2 guys. But I was thinking, no, in the end it really came down to just those 2 guys. So.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That'd be really fun. But I guess there's flaws, you know, nobody will be truly happy about the playoffs, you know. People for one format over the other.
We would well be on halfway.
See, I think I don't like. I wouldn't like that style for the fact of, like, for example, when Chase won it, it was
3 and 4.
You knew he won before he went to the last race. So that I don't like it when it would be that gap, but also I don't like the fact, like, you know, we can get to Homestead this year and or sorry, I didn't say Homestead. Whoops.
I know what you mean.
Phoenix, the championship race. That, you know, we most likely will have Denny and Kevin and 2 others, and then watch, you know, be like a 2018 year, like, you know, somebody that's not the dominant car all year wins, and it's like, I don't think you deserve that championship, you know? Just who shows up and has a better day.
Like, theoretically, just gonna make myself happy here. Say Alex Bowman gets through the round of 16, and then does good, gets a win in round 12. Can win in a round of 8, like at Kansas maybe, a track he's done good at before. Just all of a sudden, like, you know, I like you and all, but you don't need to be here.
Yeah. But you also have to think, like, how other sports do their championship or playoffs. Like, for example,
it just makes sense.
Like, you know, like, for example, like the NFL, you know, you can get all the way to the Super Bowl and be the dominant team all year and lose. You know, it all comes down to one game. You know, it's not like, oh, we had the best record, so we deserve to win.
dragging on the
You
ground,
know,
and we're
I think it
hearing
was
now
one year
that
the Patriots. I'm trying to think what year it was. I was like in middle
dragging the
school.
splitter.
I don't know whatever year it was.
That wouldn't be surprising.
But the Patriots were like undefeated all year long, and then lost the Super Bowl. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
I'm trying to think. It was 2000.
And theoretically, it could still happen in NASCAR. This Goose Winnipeg says someone can win the first 35 races, but then not win the championship race and don't win the championship.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with football, that's it. You know, who cares what you did all? I mean, I say who cares? You obviously have to do good. Advance to each round or whatnot. But it ultimately comes down to like the Super Bowl, and if you don't come to play that day, you don't deserve the title. So I guess it makes sense. And same with basketball and whatever sports. I like hockey for the fact that like they do the best 3 out of 5 or whatever. So you don't have it's not comes down to one game. I mean it might, but at least you have more opportunities.
Upper A-frame mount off the chassis, so cars
Whoa,
drove too
David
bad to get back
falling
out
like
there.
a rock right there.
We just got it driving good, just straight up enough to where it could go up through there. We
Well,
were
he was
just trying to
involved in
get
that crash,
around
and
them.
I forget they can come back out after they try to repair the car.
I miss that. Like, I mean, I know it's not safe, but I love seeing like just beat up cars go out there and try to keep up. I don't like. I mean, the crash clock. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously we don't need cars with crazy damage on it
And that's where it was really
out there. But it's kind of sad when I think cars could go out there and
get away from each other because they were all
compete. It's like on this past week when Chase Elliott was got his hood all bent out. I mean, maybe they could have fixed that. But it can't be fixed in 5 minutes. So go home.
But there is a minimum speed that you have to maintain out there because you see these guys running too
Okay, so
wide
there still is a minimum
and 3
speed,
wide, and we've seen
but
how these
there's
cars
no like repair
are a
time.
handful.
Right.
When you're trying to go around a car that's running,
Which I mean that's
that
important,
much slower
especially
than
at
you. 10 miles an hour
somewhere like
doesn't sound
Daytona.
like
You
a
don't
lot
want to be
slower.
going
When you're running
close to
180
200 miles an hour, and
90
another
miles an
car's
hour,
going like
cars are
130.
180 or
Yeah.
81. But let me tell you
Ran
something.
over.
That closure
Have you noticed
of a car
how
like
some of
that,
these
when you're
names
trying
in
to
here
figure
are
out what
red?
you're gonna
It's
do,
a mark.
is incredible.
And if you look at the
I
points,
see that now, but no, I did not notice that.
And then if you look next to them, there's a little tiny little Coke bottle
by
too.
17 points.
Oh, I see it. Is that I guess the Coca-Cola Racing
Mhm. There was a lot more people in the Coca-Cola
The
Racing
world's
family back
hottest
then.
sport meets the world's most refreshing beer. Frost brewed Coors Light, the official
Coors
beer
Light.
of NASCAR.
Official beer.
Not no more. No, they're not even. You don't have anything to do with NASCAR at this point.
I don't think they're very good anyway.
That's what I'm talking about.
There we go. There's another racing
Yeah.
commercial.
Racing in the snow.
The world's hottest sport meets the world's most refreshing beer. Frost brewed Coors Light, the official beer of NASCAR.
Jeff Burton on the bottom in the 31. He's got David Reagan right behind him. Reagan caught a huge break.
We're at least over halfway through this race now.
Got through there,
Yeah.
and now he's taking
On a
advantage of it.
Wednesday
David has
night.
himself in 8th. Seems like, I don't
Midweek
know.
racing.
Maybe
Yep.
we're just getting to that
I
time
love,
of the race, but it seems like
I mean,
these
I'm
cars
probably in a
are-
minority here,
the
but I
handling's going
love
off a lot faster
weekday
after
races.
these guys have
I
pitted
mean,
than it was
a lot of
earlier.
people, I know
It
the
just
ratings
seems
suck,
switching a
but
lot more on this
that's the
racetrack
best
right now.
feeling
They
is
use a
like
lot
being
more
at work
racetrack.
and thinking, I gotta come home and watch a race. You know, I think that's just so exciting to me. But I don't want them instead of, like, I'm not saying more midweek races, less Sunday races, because then it's kind of sad on
Watch how
Sunday.
hard the
Like
2 and the
after we go
31
to church and eat
racing
lunch, I'm
each
like, what am I
other
supposed to
Bush in the
do?
2.
But I,
Jeff
I
Burton
would
in the
enjoy
31.
one
Yeah, but keep an eye on the 17
or
too.
two
I'm
during
sure
the
he's gonna
season.
turn
I don't,
possibly
you know,
the
like
2
the
down a little
Saturday
bit.
night race, how they have, what,
There's
a
lot
couple
of pushing
sprinkled
going
in
on. See
there.
the turn?
Yeah.
I would
I'm
enjoy
telling you,
a
you've
couple.
got
I
to be
don't think
straight
I
when you push
want a
somebody in
lot,
front of you,
but
'cause if
it
you
would have to
don't,
be.
You're gonna turn the guy.
It would have to be the right track.
Especially
And
this close
especially
going into the
if
corner.
fans get to come back in attendance, it has to think.
Turning that wheel even
Logically,
a little bit.
what track makes sense? Like what track is people going to come out to on a Wednesday night? You have to have a lot of local support of a track. Because there's not going to be too many people. Like, let's say it was, unless it's in the summertime, and then kids are out of school and some people can be teachers or have a seasonal job where they're off for the summer, so you can have those people. But if you're during the school year, let's say like on April, mid-April, and we're having a local race at like Wednesday night race at Martinsville, you're going to have a lot of local support because how many people can take off work in the middle of the week?
Right.
You know,
he's 14th in the points as we run.
But like
right
I said,
now.
that's the best feeling is when I'm at work and just like, yeah, I get to come home and watch NASCAR tonight. You know, it's just that's kind of like.
That's a smart race.
Thursday night football or Monday night football.
And that is, but he's run good enough tonight to be right in front of that stuff too. You know,
just makes
I
love looking forward to that.
Early in one of the broadcasts where he said,
suck on TV. But I think the ratings suck is just because they weren't advertising it.
Yeah, it's just harder for them to really promote it, I think.
Like with the way how funky the schedule was this year. Like my dad has gotten into NASCAR a little bit. You know, I lived at home after I graduated college for a year and a half or so before we got married. So on Sundays I would always turn the race on, so my dad would just kind of watch it with me. So he kind of got into learning who the drivers are and whatnot, and so anyway, so he'll turn on the races sometimes, or whatnot, and since we're here, he'll like, oh, I'm watching the race or whatnot. But I think it's funny that I think Danny went over to my parents' house one time and told my dad, hey, there's a race. Oh, there's a race today. Cause I think he's more of a casual kind of fan. Like we'll turn. Yeah. I mean, he's not on top of. He's not on top of the sport like we are, but I still think he'll tune in to watch the race.
Burger King just took over driving the tour.
But like for somebody like that, they're not. See, my dad would probably turn it on if he knew it was on, but like he doesn't know it's on, so it's like I don't think they promote it that well. Got a super chat?
Yeah, I do. I was gonna say.
I'm rambling.
Thank you to Carl Singleton for the $5. It's a question for both of us. Favorite driver of all time.
Around the field, Marty.
We'll try it again. We'll try it. We got a caution.
Of all time. Well, in terms of like since I watched 2016, I mean. Chase Elliott, because that's the guy I root for, but I mean, if I didn't have to pick Chase Elliott, because obviously that's a kind of biased answer. Other drivers I enjoy watching or kind of rooting for, Jimmy Johnson and probably Martin Truex. Trying to pick a driver when I first started watching, I didn't want to pick somebody that was older in age, because I, would have to learn a lot of kind of their history and, knew there wouldn't be many years to root for them going forward. You see Jimmy, it's his last year, so it'd kind of be like, oh, I have to pick somebody else.
Yeah, the thing is, someone started watching this year, I'm root for Jimmy Johnson. Are you really? Yes, he's my favorite driver. Okay, enjoy this season.
Yeah, but I mean, I enjoy those two drivers.
And the balance is also
so I wouldn't be mad if they won.
Just a tick tight has been what he has
talked
about every time
I would say
but there's no one better than Chad Favorite,
and
Jimmy Johnson at adjusting on a race car. They have been solid throughout the evening trying to work their way into the top five. And then
have gone back, revisited their career, and appreciated them. Obviously, Dale Earnhardt Sr., he's probably one of the all-time greats of all time.
Where he needs to be
the guy right above my head here is Ricky Rudd. Even though some people might not even say he did, like he had a Hall of Fame career, I have a ton of respect for Ricky Rudd. So he's probably one of those favorite underdogs of all time. Well, I don't want to say underdogs because he got several wins.
Tight across the center, but his biggest issue really
loose late
exit. He says spinning that right rear. Remember, he had that issue with the right rear earlier, so that is some concern for the Kenseth camp. Lindsay?
Matt, Joey Logano is running currently in the 9th, and when I talked to him earlier today, he said he didn't quite know what to expect out of this joint. However, after all, that's what he said last week in New Hampshire when he got his first sprint career victory. He said it's been a wild week. He's focused
I know that's what I was
right
thinking when I was looking at it. I'm like,
some experience here on this track because he has not had success in the past. Right now, he feels very good. Right behind him, it's Jamie McMurray in that 26 car. Jamie said in his car, just right on the bottom of the racetrack. The winner here in 2007
Who's that? Is that someone? That's Joey.
Except for being a tiny bit tighter.
Like, who's that? Somebody's
Lindsay, I'm watching the cars at 11th through 15th, and it's kind of an interesting group. You look at David Reagan in the 6 car, only one top 10 finish this year, and that was when he finished
Scott
6th
Speed
in the 500 in February, running
He was
11th.
in the other
but
Red
the
Bull
guy that
car,
I've been
the 82
watching,
car.
is this 78 car of Regan Smith. This is only the 10th start
Promotional racing,
for him
back
in
when I saw it.
2009. They run a limited schedule.
But I like
he
that
finished
car.
21st in the first quarter. But guys,
Well, that
the
was
most
a
amazing
cool thing, because like
about
from
this
this angle
young
it looks
man,
like it's still
this
black,
is his
but as it
51st
changes in
race.
light, you can see those
He
blue
has
flames on it. It
no
was really
DNFs,
cool.
which is one of the reasons he won
Hey,
the
appreciate
Rookie
the
of the Year
$5 there,
last year
Adam.
in
First
2008.
classic watch with you guys. Super cool. Thank you. Crazy how much the broadcast has changed in 10 plus years. Yes, it really is. He says you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
There's Marcus in the 47.
Yeah, this is our third one we've done. We started
Yeah.
with the All-Star race at where? Charlotte. No, I was gonna say Bristol, and I'm like, wait a second, that's not right.
And then we did 2001 Sonoma. And then this is our third one. And this is the biggest crowd we've had for one of these. We're at 197 now. We were at like 217 at one point.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
That's crazy. I think our last one we didn't even get to 100 live viewers. So that's awesome to have you guys all here.
Thanks for joining. I can't say guys because that's. I'm saying guys in general.
Oh yeah.
You people.
You enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. Ready to talk to your doctor? Find out how at Viagra.com.
Viagra.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough.
Were they a sponsor of
Don't
Mark
take
Martin at this
Viagra
point, or
if you
are
take
they
nitrates for
long
chest pain,
gone?
as it may cause an
They're
unsafe
long
drop in
gone,
blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach,
I'm
and
sure that was such an
abnormal
awkward thing to
vision. To avoid
promote.
long-term injury,
I'm glad,
seek
like, you
immediate
see how
medical
this...
Like he had that on his fire suit and everything.
You see how this commercial is shot, like the old man and his wife, walking along this beach or whatever, going into his hut. I'm glad that Viagra never asked Mark Martin and his wife to film some kind of commercial like that.
But he had Viagra like on his fire suit and all that.
Yeah, all over the car and everything.
Gosh. Well, I guess that's like Roman for.
Between our top five.
But I don't think he has a Roman fire suit. I think they weren't like around. They're not a sponsor big enough to pay for all that extra stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I know we said this the last time. It's like, I'm sure like there'll be. Dad, I want the shirt. No, no kids, you're not getting that shirt.
That's a good looking Kingsford car right there.
Just got into the 98, and Jamie McMurray hits pit road. Lindsay.
Erwin Tools.
Jamie
I love those
McMurray is
colors.
coming down
Navy
because
and yellow.
They said they have a
That was a
tire
good
issue,
looking
obviously.
car.
So now they're bringing him in. The plan to give him 4 tires and fuel. Jamie, like I said before, the winner in 2007 of this race, said he's very confident on this racetrack, but right now just going to worry about track position.
Yeah, and Lindsay, he's had a quiet night. He was running in 9th when he made his way down pit lane.
Jamie McMurray.
Yeah, now I mean,
like at least 4.
Probably going to go a lap down. He's just got to hope it all circulates back, and he's in good shape once everybody.
But I do like that there's
as we see him come into the pits here.
He takes out the Jackman.
Yes. And I think that then I'm gonna have to
100
say on that one. I think the Jackman was a little bit slow because you saw the tire guys already out there on pit road. The Jackman seemed to stumble, so I'm going to defend Jamie on that
I still
one.
think it's funny how they're kind of like spaced out. They're in like little clusters.
But he's not been in an accident.
It's
The
like
other cars that are a lap down have all been in accidents so far.
Speaking of cars that were in accidents earlier in the night.
I appreciate the $5 again there, Carl Singleton. For Claudia, favorite of the podcast guys besides your hubby.
Oh, I don't want to do this because whichever one I don't pick,
Jamie,
okay, we'll pick. I like them all. They're all really great guys. We've got to hang out with them, at several races.
2 of them was in our wedding.
Yeah, Jared and Darian were able to be in our wedding.
Eric would have been, but he was busy with his internship at the time.
Yeah, so
same thing, just kind of hang there.
And then we've stayed at group houses when we went to Daytona. So they're all really like fun and great guys, to be around. I would say, I guess if you want to say one person I'm thankful for, we'll say Jared, because that kind of made this whole thing happen, like the whole podcast and whatnot. I think it was funny, because Danny had, like, before he became Danny B and really into NASCAR and all the news, I mean, we would just turn on the race on Sunday, watch it, and that was it. There was no engagement on social media or whatnot. He primarily did fishing stuff, so he would always go fishing with, adult men or whatnot. I'm like, you need some friends your own age.
Yeah.
Just kind of being funny because, like, where he was from, he had a lot of, like, adult friends that went fishing. So this was still when he lived in East Tennessee, and so he told me about this guy that messaged him to want to do a podcast. And the first question I asked, how old is he? And so then when scraped the wall.
More issues
Clear down all the way
But anyways, when Danny told me, like, I don't know however old Jarrett was at the time, but then when I saw their first podcast, I'm like, okay, they're about the same age, you know. At least he made a friend his own age, you know, because you know, once you're out of college and you kind of move off, you know, to start working, you know, you're not very distance close with your, you know, your friends from college, you know. That's like me. Some of my friends don't live that close anymore, but
everything looks good. He's turning.
But anyway, so I'm, you know, thankful for Jarrett that reached out to me.
The fender comes up, he blows the right front tire.
Tire down?
Probably the tire's rubbing on something.
But yeah, definitely thankful for Jarrett that made
either that or even if, like you said, once you wreck one of these cars, it's never going to be perfect. It changes the handling and the way these tires are getting in the racetrack. So
appreciate the $4.99 coming in from Mr. Skid. Danny, what international racetracks that you want on the NASCAR schedule?
The 26 of Jamie McMurray.
Except for most, I guess that means like the one in Canada. We had to pick one international. I would say
because he's only got 3 or 4 laps on that set of tires, and we've already talked about the
like he was didn't even have a door like
he just
paint.
burnt it off pretty much.
Literally, it's like metal. Okay, answer the question.
I would say the road course down in Mexico that the Nationwide Series went to a few years back.
It just catches on fire.
Well, back, I said a few years back. I mean, like back even before this. I think it was like 08 they went there. That would be fun to send them down to like Mexico.
I want them to go like to me like Canada. I feel like it's similar to the U.S. Like you know, I mean, obviously they have their own culture and traditions and whatnot. But you know, back in the way back when they went over to Japan, like went to Japan.
He's
like I think that's cool, you know, to like
and he'll be the first car
figure out how to get the cars over in Mexico. Seems like, you know, you have a different market. I feel like people they're trying more fans in Canada than there would be, I think, in like Mexico. You know what I'm just saying? Like, so
let's go to Adam as he slides to a stop.
The 48 of Jimmy Johnson came on the radio, said really good, a little free, but I'll take it.
NASCAR
First time tonight, they have not made adjustments. Top right of your screen, it will be 4 tires and fuel. This stop at lap 103, they'll have to come one more time.
So I appreciate that
the Emblem in that 11 car says he's tight, especially off turn 2. 2/10 of a pound on the right front and
something kind of
tires, trying to
crazy and unique, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, keep that in Canada and do another kind of one-off.
Trying to win the race on pit road one more time. He will do it. 4 tires for Stewart, up half around on the track bar, halfway back on the adjustment they did last time.
Gets the lead.
Boy, Darian Grubb just has that 14 crew just hitting it perfectly.
Watch Jimmy Johnson when he hits this pit.
I want to show you this.
He locks it up.
The black hole guy was talking about having a Jimmy skeleton in his car.
Okay.
He's too
this
close
is what he
to the
meant by
wall.
that.
Man.
Oh,
Not only is it too tight, but he's got to drop it in reverse so he can clear the guys in front of him.
Go Jimmy. I like that paint scheme.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
So Jimmy
I
Johnson's
want
back
Chase
out.
Elliott's
You're watching wide open coverage of the Coke 0400 on TNT.
throwback to that car.
Yeah, really, I want the whole Hendrix set.
Well, the one I don't
enjoying your
like.
4th of July.
The one I could feel like I could do okay without would be William Byron, but I think it'd be weird to have 3 of the 4 cars.
Yeah.
I feel because you know, especially since we're Chase and Bowman fans, and I like how both those came out. Definitely want to get those. And then the Jimmy one is unique with the Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt mashups. That one's cool. But then, like I said, then now we're back to 3 out of 4.
It's like if you don't get all of the fuck one's missing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird, you know, especially since they're all like teammates, you know.
And also, like, most of the Bowman cars keep getting DNP'd now. His no-co car from earlier this year got DNP'd. Just found out today that, so we had ordered the Alex Bowman All-Star car.
Light up,
as well as her Chase Elliott race win from the
he goes from leading the race to 5th or 6th, and the rain comes, and this day's over.
But,
and that's why.
But we had ordered those 2, and then found out today that the Alex Bowman one, pretty much every version of it is going to get
that's when everything starts.
That's sad.
Happens during the course
and
of the race.
And who you pit around.
So the only one that I got coming now for Alex Bowman is the Auto Club
down the road.
People used to always.
I wish that Lionel or whoever would put him in a set, like a Ben's Jimmy set, you know.
Yeah, they should do a 4-car set.
That would be a massive box.
Yeah,
because I've seen the Kyle Busch.
The Kyle Busch sweep set box is big enough.
Yeah, but you know, I'm sure people would buy that because, like, I know people, like, I would imagine that there might be a Jimmy fan that would want all the cars. Not necessarily they would be a Bowman fan. Like, I don't know You know what I'm saying? If they had to buy them individually, like, would you buy Bowman? But if they came in a set, it'd be like, oh, well, it can be like a tribute to Jimmy kind of thing, like as a, you know what I'm saying? Like, thanks Jimmy set, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think more people would get it because it'd be like giving appreciation to Jimmy than going out and pre-ordering an Alex Bowman diecast.
Yeah.
You know, I think they'd do it more from the
It gives the world
for the paint scheme than
fewer
the
smog-forming
driver.
emissions.
So hopefully that one gets made.
Michael Maruk says he'll buy up that set.
It gives you.
Thank you. One more to help Danny to get his diecast.
Michael, you got to buy that set. You got to buy the Brett Moffitt truck. You better be getting some money, son. You're gonna be needing it.
Machine.
I know. I think about how much money that would be if we pre-ordered all that. I'm like,
we were wondering if Jamie McMurray.
Well, one good thing is that, like you said, they don't charge you right now, so it's like great pre-order, and then like a couple months down the road, oh crap, I did that.
Yeah.
That's one bad thing is like you forget you do that. Like I know we don't pre-order too much. I think what did we pre-order this year? We got the Noah Gregson Daytona win autograph,
Jordan Anderson
truck, the Chase Elliott All-Star. I think that's it. Yeah, so far.
Well, we had pre-ordered Ryan Vargas. That got DNP.
Oh no, you've got Alex Bowman's Auto Club coming.
Alex Bowman Auto Club, and one other one, the Timmy Hill iRacing win.
You got that?
I got that. Just because of how unique that is. Like, that team will never have another diecast made.
Yeah. I'm sure they were thrilled to,
to be able to. And from what I understand, that one didn't get DNP. I think they're actually making that one. Like, I was hoping it would be someone like that who won the first one, but, you know, it was Danny, and that one obviously wasn't going to get made.
Yeah.
But then they said that they were going to make the Timmy Hill one. I was like, okay, that's a more memorable one right there. I want to get the Timmy Hill one.
I wish that Dale Jr. would have won that race.
That would have made it
Oh my gosh.
That would have been the most bought diecast that they had all year.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure they got a lot of sales because obviously anything.
I mean, they still made that car.
Yeah, I know. I've seen people that have already got that car. It's funny.
They've already got it?
I think so.
Oh, wow, that's
and
quick.
the filter time?
Yeah. I didn't know they already had
I
that.
think. It's kind of funny what cars are coming out and then what has, you know.
And again, Hamlin and Stewart.
But, you know, because we're still waiting on our Daytona one, but I know because of COVID they're slow in production.
Well, the Gregson one's finally sent it out. So.
Well, I know, but like, you know, you don't have Auto Club, and that was still like in what, February, March, whatever it was?
Yeah, I think, because I got my Alex Bowman first win in what, December?
Been able to push the whole line out there. And in Talladega, that's the difference between sometimes between Daytona
and that would have been, he won in June or July.
I think.
But you see it again.
So that would definitely been less time it's been since he won Auto Club. So.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, like normally it's like a 4-ish month time frame because when Chase Elliott got his first win in 2018, we pre-ordered his first win and people started getting them about Christmas. So that's my kind of time frame for a normal production. But I think they're still just trying to get standards out right now, like, you know, just their standard non-race wins paint schemes.
I'm sure they, you know, had to pretty much, if the Lionel factory wasn't shut down, it was at least dropped in the manpower for sure.
Yeah, because the other cars, the way they were designed.
Yeah, so it's gonna. I think that'll probably be their next thing to tackle is race wins.
And you rake the body. With these cars, they don't.
You know, because they've started coming out. Seeing they came out with William Byron's
the Valence has a high
dual
a lot of
car.
Oh, and they're gonna have some William Byron iRacing wins there too.
You can put 6 cars
I keep forgetting he won like most iRacing.
So you didn't have any front end.
They started racing on a computer. Did you know that?
I want to ask him. I want to ask him if that annoys him.
Well, I wonder does he know that because I mean it's on the broadcast. He's racing.
I'm sure he knows it. But I want to ask him, what does he really think about that?
Yeah. Tell us about how you started racing on a computer.
Very consistent.
What kind of computer did you have?
But in reality, I know that's not how it really started. Like, he started racing with Legends cars and
keep crew motivated is being where Tony Stewart is right now. When you see your guy up front, you see your guy running second.
It's like, what kind of setup did you have? You know, it's like, this is kind of annoying question.
You don't want to be the guy.
I think they're trying to like reach out to people and say you don't have to like not all drivers come from like super rich parents that have a leg in NASCAR. It's like you can be an average kid and play video games on the computer simulation iRacing and get there too. I think that's what they're trying to do.
If they're not lined up, if you don't have 5 or 6, 7 cars lined up,
well, I know, but I'm just saying maybe that's the angle they're going.
You're going to lose the other line. The inside line has always been better at that.
I mean, in reality, you really have to have a good amount of money to be any bit competitive.
Now you can say that about me and Eric. They started their NASCAR career on a computer.
The lucky break, got a chance to get back on the lap, and here he comes.
He's already been
on that yellow line. You can't be ducking down there and gaining spots. Crossing that line and doing that.
Oh, that reminds me of
we're in the TV booth.
Back a couple years ago, we watched this
he got tired of
what was it, like a documentary? You remember those kids that were wanted to be drivers or NASCAR drivers? And there was this one kid who was really, really good, but he was from a very low-income place or something.
Yeah, so he only had enough money to go the rest of the year, but he won the championship, I think, but he couldn't afford to keep racing. And I think I looked up the kid who looked like he was well off, and he's still racing late models.
Maybe I give him a red card on that one or something. I don't understand.
So it stinks. Sometimes talent isn't enough.
I mean, it's just like some people said on my video, like the future stars of NASCAR. And they're like, oh, well, this kid, that kid. But I was thinking, it's great and all, but, these kids have got the name, they'll obviously have the money, and that's going to help them a lot more moving forward. I'm sorry.
Too early to stay there.
And they're going to have talent, I'm sure. Their dad's going to make sure they got the talent.
He was not very happy about that restart as he lost all those spots, as you guys mentioned, and he has not mentioned a word about the going below the yellow line thing. But what he did say is, now I've really got to go to work. Wally and Kyle, it's much harder to race back here, trying to get back to the front than it was where Denny was earlier, first, second, third. This is a much tougher road to hoe for Denny Hamlin now.
It is, Marty, but the only thing I'd say on that is the 11 car has been so strong. I think if he had someone help right now, I believe he would work his way up to the front pretty quick. He doesn't have anybody to help him right now. But you're right, Marty. When you get back there, it's a little bit tougher. But I still think he's got the horse.
Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for the past 25 years. Let's check in with our friends high above.
Wow, they've had a long-time sponsorship in NASCAR, Goodyear. Except for the last 25 years, and then this race was like, what, 11 years ago?
Smell the hamburgers.
I like this question here from Alexander Woods. At NASCAR, other than the Sounds, Redbirds, and Tennessee University teams, what are your favorite baseball teams?
That would take away.
I guess I would say probably Atlanta Braves, because they're probably the closest team, the closest Major League Baseball team to us. There's talk though that Nashville may get a Major League Baseball team in the next few years, so that's pretty interesting concept. I think there was talk that they might try to build a big stadium next to where Tennessee Titans play. So if that's the case, I think that'd be a really good idea.
And the header team safe fuel down the stretch.
Yeah, I guess the Braves would probably be
something exciting could happen later tonight.
The team I would pull for, maybe. I don't know.
Either them or the Cincinnati Reds. They're both about equal distance from us, I think.
I'm even starting to smell those
I mean, I can't get into baseball. I mean, I like it, but I can't. I don't know. It's just like when I watch it on TV, I just can't get into it.
Yeah.
Now, I would definitely enjoy going to a game. I would not be ever opposed to going to a game, but I just don't have really interest to sit down. That's like, like hockey is that for me. I love going to sporting events. Pretty much any sport I'll go. But watching on TV, it's harder to have an interest in it.
Jacob Hunt said, DannyBTalks, will you go to the likely IndyCar street race in Nashville? Yes, I will. I've already kind of told David Land, because he follows. He follows IndyCar as much as I do NASCAR. He does really good reporting for IndyCar, and I've already told him that, hey, man, if this does happen, you need a co-host, you need a cameraman, someone like that to help you. I'll help you out any way I can, and you got a place to stay with me.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see the course that they do.
Yeah, because I'm curious, like, I have to imagine they want to incorporate Broadway into it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, it was so cool having the burnouts on Broadway, you know, and I work probably, I mean, I don't work like on Broadway. My catering company is probably about a half a mile, like maybe not even maybe a mile from Broadway. So, you know, downtown is very quick access to me. And so it was so funny when I was driving around the next day after burnouts on Broadway and all the rubber was still at the very end of Broadway, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Well, this is something that they also got to consider too. Nashville, like downtown Nashville, is not a flat city by any means. It's very hilly. Like a lot of streets will have like a hill that connects to another flat part of the road.
Yeah.
So it's going to have a lot of elevation change in a Nashville street course.
Yeah. We've never been to an IndyCar race, so I think that would be definitely, well, one, it's unique, you know, having, because we live in a suburb outside of Nashville, so we don't actually live in Nashville, but I mean, Nashville's less than 30 minutes away. So.
Oh yeah, if you tell me go to Nashville real quick, I'll be okay, but here's the thing. So.
Well, you know, that's where I just came from, so I work in Nashville. But I definitely would be interested to see that, like, you know, I was over the moon excited, like, when stock cars were, you know, NASCAR stock cars were on Broadway, and I'm like, oh, they're you know, home, you know, they're at my home, you know, like, hometown, because the nearest, you know, like, track is, like, hours away, so it's not like I'm used to seeing them real close. It was kind of funny that being there, so I'm going to be interested in to see that. I wonder how like high pitched they'll be if they're in cars.
Yeah, I don't imagine they'll be able to get a lot of speed around there.
Yeah. If it does have noise, I'm sure there will be people on Nashville
that's
going to
complain.
But yeah. Well, what I'm going to be interested in, like, I'm sure it'd be on the weekend, like a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say there's some businesses like not like touristy stuff, like actual like businesses around. I'm like, that would be really annoying.
I will say I don't know why they're necessarily trying to go to the street course when they, you know, they could just go back to Nashville Super Speedway. You know, they used to race there.
One, two, with them opening the track for NASCAR next year, I don't. You know, obviously it's going to have safer barriers and all that kind of stuff, so I'm kind of surprised that they're not going that route.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it something else, because it definitely could be another kind of aspect of a race to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure they'll incorporate Broadway, because when we were at doing the Burnouts on Broadway thing...
That's literally what they call it. That's literally what they call it, Burnouts on Broadway.
Well, I know. I'm saying when we were there, like bars, like on Broadway.
Oh,
that's what I was trying to say. Is shoulder like rooftop access.
Those would be over $1,000 just to get up there.
Like, you know, Burnouts on Broadway. It's just like, woohoo, yeah, we get to watch cars go around. They were selling tickets. I mean, a couple $100s to see, like, to stand on the roof.
And just for like a few hours, for like a whole day of racing, they're gonna charge $1,000 minimum.
Oh, I'm sure. And being IndyCar, like a big series, you know. Like, this was just, you know, a little awards kind of celebration. What?
I'm not going to randomly scream at you guys. That's what someone asked me to do.
Ah!
Ah! There's your scream. Someone said this racing is so separate for plate racing. It really kind of is. I think that's just kind of well, it's not even that this car made this happen. It's kind of odd because, like, I think it's only this version of Daytona, and I'm noticing these cars are very bumpy in the turns, which I know, like, a couple years later they'd end up repaving Daytona, so then that kind of issue wouldn't be really a thing. But yeah, it is weird how like they're so much separate. But like I know at Talladega in the fall, other than when two cars would link up and draft together for the two-car tandem, they would be a lot more close together.
Well, what was a really bizarre race, thinking about that, was when we went to Talladega in 2018 and the Stuart Ross car.
Oh!
Busch and David
that wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be.
Well, tore a splitter up there, dug it into the grass.
Still, I thought it was going to be another big one.
Almost at a big
Oh, no, it didn't really tear damage it that bad.
That's the car you don't like?
I'll tell you what, I
Yeah, I didn't care much for that paint scheme.
I like the kind of waviness going on.
I like
you know,
what,
it's
I
not
like
the
what they
solid
tried
brown.
for there, but I don't like the fact that it's a brown car. Just solid brown cars don't look good.
Well, I don't like the color brown, but you have to realize, like, seeing a UPS truck drive around, what does it look like? Brown?
Yeah, but I guess it's because, like, when they first came into sport, they had white cars, and it looked a lot better.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate.
Kurt's
I'd like a white car better. I think I'd like that, but
all over that car the last couple laps.
Brown is my
you got
least
3 or 4
favorite color.
cars there. They're all moving around, you know, and I mean moving around. It's hard to explain how much these cars are moving. He's got 4 wide there.
Robert Burkett
David
says
looks like he's
brown
trying
is
to
a
come
crappy
up. He thought
color.
maybe he was
Well,
clear.
yeah,
So
literally.
he kind of brought that one on himself a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say David. I think David thought he had a clear spot to get back up in front of Kurt and didn't realize it. But they're, like you said, they're 4 wide right there.
That's
you know what I mean? Here we've already had one big crash, and here these guys are running 4 wide down the middle of the back stretch. You think these guys don't drive hard every lap? But they're fighting for everything.
And as it gets closer to the end of the race, you'll see more. You're going to see more of this. You're going to see. It's not erratic, but you're just going to see these moves because everybody's trying to protect the real estate
now we're
right
gonna
now.
line 'em back
You
up
can't
with
afford to get
less than
shuffled
40
all the
to
way
go.
to the back.
It's funny, these last few laps have really kind of flown by.
Kurt had saved it prior to that. I thought that's when they were going to get together, and then
Kurt's been
he moved
sideways the last 2 or 3 laps. He's been once he was in the middle. He's been
And we talked about
sideways.
the best NASCAR victory celebration
And he
you've
was actually
seen.
loose
You
on
know,
it, too,
honestly,
right
what
there.
I
He saved
used
it.
to like seeing was when Kurt Busch used to win, he would drive in reverse.
Is it like the Polish?
Yeah, he did the Polish victory lap, but he did it driving in reverse.
Too bad. David Reagan's running.
That was
so it's not just literally going around the.
He would be, in reverse the whole way.
That's cool. I thought you were gonna say with the Polish victory lap is just like turning right instead of
Bush's team,
like,
the first thing to do when they go to work on this
Let's see if I
2
can
cars,
find a clip of
also
that shit,
survey
too.
any kind
That
of
is-
cosmetic
that sounds pretty
damage
cool, like-
to his car. There is a
I'm sure he
donut
couldn't
that
go
goes
very
around the
fast.
9 of Kane into his pit box.
No.
He's at a bad angle. They're going to make a chassis adjustment.
I think
Lindsay
the coolest
and
one
Air
I've
trying to
seen,
free him up.
which one I thought was
Joey
neat was
Logano also
when
got a small chassis adjustment for fresh
Noah
tires.
Gregson got his first Xfinity win at Daytona, like when he like
get
lit the
lost
ground on
in.
fire. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Still tight, Lindsay. He said, "Don't make any changes. I don't
He's
want
not
to take
going
us out of the
reverse.
game. 4 tires and fuel, and they can't
No,
go from here."
they have. He is, but they're playing this like it's forward.
And they've won the race off every time they win it again.
I was like, that is him definitely driving forward.
Oh, it says Kurt Busch's reverse victory lap in reverse.
Oh, that's funny.
And that was it.
Oh, but Kurt went in there and
You know what, Marty? They are getting better too because this last stop,
This is
when they
someone's
had
like actual
everybody
footage of
covered
it.
on that
but-
one.
Oh, well.
You see, 17 still having problems.
Where's
Now
the
watch
car?
this here at the
Person.
front of
It's like
pit
this
road.
person-
Jeez.
Yeah,
What
see,
are
here
you
comes
doing?
Robbie Gordon.
Yeah, it's
I
right.
mean, I know this car ain't going that
same
fast, but
But, you know,
that's cool.
a little tap
Yeah.
there, but he could have lost a lot more than. He only lost 1 spot.
I think that was
because of
11
that.
years
He
ago.
got
That's
lucky.
what
Yeah, he
that's what
was not gonna
YouTube
beat
used
the
to be.
14, even
No,
at that.
no.
He got a good stop. The 18 had a great stop, but he was not going to beat the 14.
Like,
and the
it's
7 slows down to be
funny to
courteous
see,
let
like,
the
some of
11
the
out if
old
you saw
quality
that. That was a good job
videos,
by
like
Robbie Gordon.
And Edwards right through the grass.
you know, like when you took on your cell phone.
You're watching wide open coverage
like
of the Coke
the
0400
1.3
on
megapixel
TNT.
camera. You know, I remember I got a phone in middle school, and it was like a flip phone, and you know, you recorded it was like this, you know, record everything. It was like in a little square format.
Yeah.
You know, it was so funny.
There you see the 99.
But I've either like looked at old phones or like some videos I have on Facebook. It's like it's funny to see. It's like, wow, that's such terrible quality. It's like I can't even tell what's going on.
Yeah. Well, we got 208 people watching with us so far tonight. Appreciate everyone who's been here. Appreciate all the super chats we've had tonight. Your donations definitely helps us out a lot.
So we can go to races.
Yeah.
And more content.
You guys are,
That's just what I was going to talk about. We had a report
as
about
IDK player, let's say, putting food on the table.
It looks like it's not becoming an issue for now.
And look at
kind of
us
help
here in the TNT
pay
booth.
for us
We don't even have to go to our
do our
weather
thing,
man. We just
enjoy
get it from the guys
being
on the
NASCAR
racetrack. They tell
fans,
us what
and
the weather is.
Go to the
let me know how have you guys been? It's some of y'all maybe school starting back. Maybe some of y'all went back to college. Some of y'all working. Some of y'all way older than me, might be retired, just watching some 25-year-old and his wife watch a NASCAR race on the TV, something like that. How y'all doing? Danny B's diecast
Welcome back to Daytona TNT.
For real, like, help us get that Jimmy set.
We got pre-order.
Our wide open coverage continuing here tonight. We haven't missed a lap of green
That's one
flag
video you
racing,
need to make.
and
And
we're
I know
not going to
somebody
miss
suggested
anymore.
that, like your diecast.
Taking care of everything.
I can't really say
we just bought 2 new cases actually for our diecast.
That once
so
we get
it's probably,
that
probably good that we haven't done that
Great
yet.
finishing store here tonight at
But
Daytona.
let me know what you guys think about this. How would you guys like to see a video and an interview with the owner of a major NASCAR diecast store?
What did you just say?
Is that an idea you like?
I had to slide one in for you.
Could smack you.
We hadn't heard it all night.
Yeah, you completely butchered
Yeah, I think
it. You
it's funny
said
about
it. That's why
our
I
glass
wasn't sure
cases.
exactly
I mean,
what you
I've
said.
always wanted a glass display case.
Everybody in Twitter
To, you know, because we're kind of running out of room in our bonus room, and I was like, we need one. And I was on Facebook the other day, and through Marketplace, I found one that was made by IKEA that somebody was selling for $50, and I thought that was a pretty good price because a lot of people sell glass cases, you know, curio cabinets, whatever, for $100+.
Yeah.
And so I was like, sure, let's go get it. And I was messaging the guy on Facebook about buying it, and at the same, like, right before we had picked up the first one, one of Danny's friends from around here works at a fishing store that closed down, and they had a display case that...
I think it was for holding the fishing reels.
Okay, I was wondering what it was for. But very nice glass case, has light bulbs in it, you plug it in, you know, way nicer than this IKEA one. So it's like, I want it. So what do? We bought it. So now we have 2 glass cases we got within less than a week. We went from having 0, and I found it on Facebook last Friday night. And now, like I said, less than a week later we have 2. But
well, I think that's definitely all we need. Those things are heavy, especially the one we brought in today.
Yeah, the one from IKEA wasn't bad. It made it very light and easy to move. But the other one, very heavy, because it has like a walk-in cabinet that goes, sliding cabinet that's underneath the glass portion. I think that's what made it heavier.
But yeah, I think sometimes if people want to see our actual like diecast collection, we could do a video showing them. You know, right now they just see this little corner of, you know, where I work at and do the videos over here. But you know, this whole area in here, it's actually a pretty cool room the way we've got this little office set up. So you know, show you guys how the office is, but then we've got a whole bonus room upstairs that is entirely just a relaxed NASCAR area. Full table, so I think you guys probably like to see that
and out through the grass on the backstretch, you know what I mean?
And originally we thought we wanted to put Danny B's setup upstairs, you know, because yeah, I know, right? Because we have all the NASCAR stuff up there.
Cool, he just got shoved out of there.
But it makes more sense in here because, you know, if he's working on a video, you know, and I just want to watch TV, he can shut the door and record or whatnot, and then too, we just have another room that has NASCAR stuff in it. So, yay.
And Jeff Burton going to have to make an unscheduled pit stop, taking him out of the running tonight. Too bad.
Too bad.
You know, obviously, as he come through the trial, he
what's
felt
in that, like, the
that
yellow
he was
section of
not
that car?
with, because as soon as he got through the trial, he shot
I thought there was some kind of design or something.
Oh, it's supposed to look like treads for a bulldozer.
Possibly with Kevin 42 earlier in the lap.
I can see it has some kind of texture, but I couldn't see it well enough.
So it's been Tony Stewart and Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin up in the front of this thing all day, and Jimmy Johnson's been up there.
Yeah.
It has not changed much at all.
Another car that's been hanging around near the front here this top 10 all night is that one.
Don't y'all start talking in the chat.
Right now listed in 7th.
I mean, obviously I know what happens, but it's funny, I don't remember those guys being up there like most of the entire race.
He's up in
and then there's like this whole big group here that they're so far separated from everybody.
Oh yeah.
Like I swear I thought there was more pack racing than this one.
From this race, you just remember the winner. You don't really remember.
I remember the finish. I just don't remember like it being so spread out.
Like, man, I don't know what happened.
Gotcha.
All right, you were talking about the 31 and the 42, Wally. Let's go on board with Carl Edwards and see if we can
Daytona is a track I'd love to go back to.
Oh yeah.
You know, just for us, it was really far, so it's going to have to be several years down the road.
Like, we've been to the 500, so probably the night race will be the next one we go to.
Well, I think that'd be fun. Because, you know, they're right on the coastline, so you can go to the beach.
And it's still in the summertime.
Yeah. So I think
like, honestly, we were there in February, and it's still a bit colder then.
Yeah, it would. When the sun went down, it was cold. Because I remember the truck race.
We also saw the double
zero. Yeah, because that was on Valentine's Day, and that was. I was wearing capris and like a jacket. Like I think I was wearing low season jacket. And well, and two, it was raining, so that didn't help either. Yeah, it rained. Yeah. And then it was just so cold that night.
And trying to drive
but
back
the Xfinity was mostly during the day.
He told you he said that the car was beyond tight. They found out why when they took the tires off. Severe delamination on the right.
But I don't really remember being cold
adjusted for the tight condition.
I think just because it rained, it was cold. But yeah, during the day at Daytona, it was really nice and enjoyable. But nighttime, not so much.
With that incident with the 6 in the nose, they patched it up.
I'm sure during the summertime it would be very nice weather.
Pop riveted the piece in. Right now, he's just riding, trying to latch onto the back of the 26.
Ryan Morrison said something I agree with him, you know, watching this. Said, that's why I rewatch races. Yeah, I know the winners. That's the joy of seeing the moments mid-race that you forgot about. And that's, you know, that's telling me things, you know, I did, you know, didn't recall.
The results don't really show.
That's why I really like the idea of doing this, you know, series, especially of you know, you've never seen it, period.
Yeah.
They are
latch onto the back of the 26. Get some drafting help.
Kurt has earned his paycheck tonight.
Yeah, he's had his hands full.
Tough night again for
NASCAR was off,
racing.
You know, from
again,
COVID,
the results
I would just
really
look up random races.
They're racing. It's
I
just
can't remember. I watched the Bristol race where
I tell you what,
was it like Carl Edwards one?
Yeah, you watched 2008.
They are running.
Yeah,
but that's a really good race. I kind of hate that we've already watched that.
Well, I watched that, but yeah, I told Danny, I said, "What's a race that's really good? Like I don't want."
I like how Kitty just came in here, walked over here, and they just laughed.
See ya.
They're like, you guys are boring.
And you'd go home 13th or 14th and be mad.
But I didn't want to just randomly look up like New Hampshire 2005. Like I don't want to randomly look up a race and be a terrible race. You know, so that's what I was asking him, and I really enjoyed watching a race through that I had never seen.
The reason is all these guys are working on their cars. You look at the sheet here. There's guys that are 10, 20, 30 laps down. There's only 4 or 5 guys out of the race.
But the problem was, is like when I would, I'd like to watch them at nighttime before I went to bed. Well, obviously, I'm not going to be laying in bed and watching a full race, you know, like after, you know, my day's almost done and start watching a 3-hour race.
And I just be something to put us to sleep.
I would only get to watch, you know, 45 minutes to an hour maybe, and then I'd fall asleep. And then so I'd have to keep going back and like fast forwarding and, you know, finding it. But I was also scared, like typing it in, that would show me like other related videos of like the thumbnails.
Oh yeah.
And like it'd be like Tony Stewart wins it, and I'm like, oh man, you know, like it would ruin it for me. That's what I was, you know. When he would tell me, okay, watch this race, and I would look it up, and I'm like, oh, boo, the suggested video to the right of it said, you know, showed me the winner.
I like that Montoya's car was a little bit better.
I think when I rewatched Daytona this weekend, I'll have to get him to pull it up for me so I don't accidentally ruin it for myself. Like looking up, type it on YouTube, like on the TV Daytona, and then it's like
just come home and hit play.
Yeah, and then like Eric Eastep already have his review out.
Oh yeah, you don't need to see anything YouTube.
Oh shoot, I just turned on my notifications because I had them off for the longest time because I just felt like my phone was always blowing up. So I turned them back on because I enjoy watching, you know, different people's YouTube stuff. So I was like, let me turn it back on. So watch, I'm going to forget that I did that because I turned it back on today. I think it was today, yeah. So I'm seeing. So I definitely don't need to see Eric Eastep's video. Eric Eastep, blah 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 wins, you know, shakes up playoffs or whatever. And I'm like, no!
Carl Singleton says, and he gets $5. Appreciate that, Carl. For Danny, do you know any real life Tony Stewart fans? Actually, I do. When I was in high school, I had a science teacher named Miss Brooks, and she was a die-hard Tony Stewart fan. She loved Tony Stewart.
Get in the way.
Yeah.
Viagra, America's most
yes, I always,
prescribed ED treatment can help
I had her as like the only person to talk
experience.
NASCAR basically at
Learn more.
school.
Spend some quality time with Viagra.com. Ask your
It's,
doctor
it's
if
funny
your
to
body is
think like
healthy enough for sex.
back in high
Take
school,
Viagra if you take
no one
nitrates
thought
for chest pain,
it was
as it may
cool to
cause
watch
an unsafe drop in
NASCAR.
blood
Did
pressure.
you wear NASCAR t-shirts at school?
Sometimes I'd wear like a
I probably
Dell
would
Jr.
have
shirt.
too if I was into NASCAR.
Like I'd wear like Dell Jr. shirts. Honestly, looking back, I'm like I wore Dell Jr. shirts that didn't look good. Like now I'd rather. I love these throwback looking shirts now. Like I even sent her a message with like 4 different shirts. Like if you want to find me something for my birthday coming up.
Oh, you're talking about me?
Oh yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about?
No, you. But like now, like I love the kind of shirts that I wear
and
now.
those cars just pulled out and freight trained them on the inside there. You
Yeah,
saw
like
Logano.
I know I've said this before, but like my parents didn't really watch NASCAR. We
That's
were
all inside the top
more
15
like me and my
to top
siblings
20.
played soccer growing up. I ran cross country track, played basketball. Me and my siblings did, so we were more
Coke Zero,
that
the only
kind
drink with
of
real
family.
Coke
And like
taste
my
and
dad
zero
would turn on
calories is making
Titans
it
or
possible
Tennessee Vols.
for John B. of Texas.
Majority
Take
be
the
on
ride of
TV
your
were
life with Coca-Cola Racing Family Driver.
international soccer is a
because
lot
you're
on
heading
my
to
parents' house.
Atlanta.
So we didn't really watch
Email with
NASCAR.
verification
But I
instructions
think
and
if
details
I
on how
would
to claim your
have
prize
liked
has been
NASCAR
sent
back
to you
then,
from
I
my
think
Coke
I
Rewards.
probably would have been that person wearing
Congratulations,
NASCAR
John.
shirt to school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was funny when
Yeah, that 44. Yeah,
thinking
man,
of our
he is-
first race, I didn't even
he's
wear
got his hands
anything
full right now.
NASCar related. I just wore, a basic t-shirt and some shorts, and I'm like, looking back, I'm like, now I absolutely wear something NASCAR. Chase Elliott probably all the way. Because I feel weird. I'm like, it's like going to like
a football game without a jersey on.
Well, not necessarily a jersey, but not
support the team.
But yeah, it's like you're just kind of there, and so
really
so it's like I like to support. It's like support my team, you know. Support.
But you know what's weird though? If you go to a Titans Chiefs game and you wear a Patriots jersey, that's weird.
I don't like when people do
But
that.
if you go to a NASCAR race, but you've got a NHRA or a dirt series shirt, it doesn't feel as weird.
That is true.
And we're the next 2 or 3 hours.
Because you're still wearing a racing shirt.
Here's what's got me nervous, and I'm sure.
But if you just don't wear anything special at all, you're fine too. Racing is the best sport when it comes to a tire. You can wear whatever you want. Just happy to have you.
When you're talking about you had that teacher that liked NASCAR, you know, I started watching, I think my sophomore year of college, and so, you know, it's always kind of like really, that's before he really became Danny B. Because I think
we've had one 5 times.
I think I was closer to senior in college by the time he started his channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we would just, I would only know him that likes NASCAR. You know, I didn't really get on Twitter or anything. I just started recently to get on Twitter last year or so, but I really didn't talk to anybody besides him that understood, you know, I always ask him all the questions. And so one of my friends that I met at school, she told me that her parents, you know, she grew up watching NASCAR. I'm like, what? I know, you know, there's a female who likes NASCAR. And I was, blah, blah, blah. We would talk all the time about, hey, did you see what happened this weekend or whatnot? And then even like one of my friends that used to work with me, her boyfriend is a huge Chase Elliott fan. So it was kind of like me and Danny, like when I started watching, like he was really into NASCAR. I was trying to understand what was going on. And so through him, my coworker like NASCAR. So now every time she texts me, she's like, "Oh my gosh, are you watching the race?" Or you know, "Yay, Chase won!" or whatever. I thought it was funny, even because she's now seen 2 of Chase Elliott's wins in person. They were at Watkins Glen in 2019, and then they were at Talladega. I think last year is that when he won? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we finally saw one. I'm like, she's barely just started watching NASCAR, and you know, and already seen him win twice, you know, in person. And
we thought we were going to be seeing his first win. We were at Martinsville in 2017, long before I became DannyBTalks. That was an emotional night right there.
Yeah, but I was happy to see him at win at Bristol, and so it was funny, like. You know, after he won, she'd text me, "Are you at Bristol?" You know.
Yeah. See, first
stole
But,
a great Coke
This
tasting.
is pretty cool. It's pretty cool here. I see Julie Miller pointed out new high for tonight. We were at 230. Now we're actually up to 238 people watching with us right now. That's awesome, guys. Appreciate you all so much for hopping in and supporting the stream here. We're getting just towards the end of this race. 18 laps to go. Appreciate everybody watching. Leave a like on the video. It helps us out. It helps YouTube recognize people who are enjoying these streams so they can continue to promote more of the content on the channel and promote these streams for next time. You know, it's our third one now, and we might have to try to do this again in probably a couple weeks or so.
Yeah.
It's really I'll be kind of out of town next week, but I'm going to try to still get some content out for the channel next week. So just so you guys are aware of that. But,
and he'd be writing some scripts over here.
Writing away, trying to be productive in here.
So don't you fret. There's more content to be seen.
Kyle Busch running along.
If anyone has any questions, leave them in the chat for us. Super chat probably get it noticed a little bit quicker. But we appreciate everyone's support.
Last year, one day after Addington turned 44, and Kyle won at Richmond in May on his birthday. Kyle sitting in second, Marty.
Sitting in second, but like Larry Mack, a little worried about the tires and how much they're wearing.
Daniel
Here's what he had to say on
Houston
the
says
radio.
he watched my first video, so he went back a long ways there for that one.
Watched your very first video you posted?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that was probably why millennials should watch NASCAR or something like that?
Yep.
Tell me if it's shaking real bad. Mine's vibrating. I just want to see if it's all of us or me. It's all of us.
Yeah, that's a good idea there. Alexander Wood says for the next stream, did a 2010 Indy 500, maybe that one, maybe even the 2010 Brickwork 400. Both of those are pretty good.
As you heard, mine's shaking too, buddy. We're all in it together.
Now, we've in other broadcasts and then watching stuff, you've heard drivers communicate with each other.
Danny, what was my first
second
NASCAR
and
race?
third. And what they're doing is they're comparing what their cars are doing.
That I watched on TV that I can recall, I think it was the 05 Daytona 500. I really remember. Like I probably saw it before.
There's no way I see it going much farther than this because it's been
but you know that
Seventh caution.
What do you mean I know that one?
Like you already knew who wins that one.
Yeah, because you got the nightcast one in Daytona.
Yeah.
Driven
So
away
that's
from
not
the pack
spoiling
by a little over 3 seconds, and we're continuing to build on that.
The first one I went to though was the 2009 Scott's Turf Builder 300, which I kind of said I think me and her need to watch that one before Bristol, before we go back to Bristol.
Well, we're not going to Bristol.
No, sorry.
NASCAR's going to Bristol.
NASCAR's going to Bristol. We will not be going to Bristol this year.
I wanted to, well, we considered going, but since we just went last month, I'd rather go to something else I hadn't been to in a while.
Yeah, it's like we had a great memory of the last time we were at Bristol now.
Yeah. And like I had said earlier, that Bristol is not the closest track for us. I mean, if it was close, maybe we'd go, but I mean, it's, what, 4 or 5 hours? I think it's closer to 5 hours, right?
There's cars that can lead and
and then you got time change, which, because we're in Central Time, and a little bit before Knoxville, it switches over to Eastern, so you lose time, so it makes it even longer.
And he's going to be,
so yeah, we're going to try to go to Talladega. Hopefully they're allowing fans, because I really want to see that. We've been, well, together we've been twice. We were there for the 2017 spring race, and then the 2018 fall race.
Now led over 620
so I'd love to go
here
back.
Daytona. Makes him
I really like Talladega.
Here, most of
the only thing is I wish is Talladega had lights.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure why they don't. That's another thing that always makes me nervous is going to racetracks that don't have lights. Because if it rains, you're like, well,
you only have so much time.
Yeah.
And that's how it was for me last year because I went to Talladega in the fall last year, and I only got to see like the first little bit of it, and then when the rain hit, I was with 2 guys who were managers at the car dealership I worked at.
What do you do here?
Well, guys,
and I told them, I was like, guys, I've been to these things several times here lately, so I know how long it's going to take to get a track like this dried up, and it looks like the rain's settling in here pretty good. So before they even actually made the actual decision, I told them, like, let's go, guys, let's head to the truck. And then by the time we got to the truck, I think they said, hey, the race is called, we'll do it tomorrow. So I was like, yeah, good thing I made that decision, because now I've been kind of trying to beat the traffic out of here a little bit.
Yeah. And I know when you're like pre-COVID, when you're at a racetrack, you don't have much signal, so you couldn't see the radar. I remember you texted me, says, hey, it's raining here. Do you think we should leave? And I'm like, well, shoot, I don't want to make that call, you know, because he couldn't really see it. I think I may have seen your picture, if you got it or not, but you could pull up the app, and I'm like, yeah, it was kind of bad. So it was probably, in a way, good for them that they did, NASCAR did move the race, because I always felt bad telling them, hey, yeah, leave, and then, what do you know, they draw the track.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bummer that Talladega doesn't have lights.
Jimmy.
Oh!
No changes. Tony Stewart once again 7 for 7 tonight for that 14 team.
I would love to see a Talladega night race.
No changes for Stewart.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Like, think about that.
changes for
That'd be
Kyle
awesome.
Busch.
That
4
time,
tires for
Alabama.
all these cars up here on this end of pit road.
Oh, that'd probably get crazy too. Talladega.
The Talladega is crazy enough at nighttime.
Yeah, I know.
Who would you take?
Watch this.
I think I'd want
Tony
Hamlin behind me. Then I could block him easier.
I think with this many laps to go, I think I would want Hamlin to have a bad pit stop and be farther back.
Yeah,
in the
well,
back.
that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. That's right.
I didn't realize we're at 13 to go.
But I think I'd rather
Caution
have
before this
Hamlin
point. Do you
in my
remember?
I didn't even see it. I just saw that you were talking and just a caution.
Sorry, we were talking. What was the caution for, guys?
So you gotta mix it up.
It wasn't like a big wreck or anything, you know, because I would have definitely seen that.
Yeah.
Do I think Nashville
I mean,
Super
there's a
Speedway
lot
will
of
be a
ways
night
to go
race
with
or a day race? I definitely think it'll be a night race.
I sure hope
Tony
so.
wish he had his whole radio.
They usually, their night races there were a lot more entertaining when they did do it. I mean, it is nice that they already have lights, you know, that's not an added expense they have to
You see
worry
how the
about.
cars nose down a little bit.
Oh,
Now,
the
I'd
caution
see
was
if
for
the
debris.
24
Okay, I was going to say, it
goes in a
wasn't some
little
big
bit
like
sideways,
crash or wreck or
or if
anything.
he's going to get in clean. Oh, well, he had to back up, so.
That's identical to the 48 car almost.
I haven't really seen Jeff Gordon do anything in this race.
He was kind of up there towards the beginning. Well, I think he got some damage from one of the
Okay, because I just saw him and I'm like, I have not seen him like anywhere
That's how close these
up
pit stops are
front.
right now.
It's kind of people I forget that are in this race.
We got Stewart, Busch, Hamlin, Johnson, Kenseth, Edwards, Elliott Sadler, Kurt Busch, and then that's where it cut off.
There's your Toyota driver
Time to
update.
go to bed after this race gets over.
Yeah.
Busch and Hamlin. And
Well, we started this at 7 o'clock and now it's 9:46, and we still have 248 people watching with us. That is impressive. Thank you all for the support.
Yellow sticker on the back of it, and at a super speedway, that's just.
This one's definitely going to go longer than our last stream. Our first one was like an hour and a half because it was just an all-star race.
We wanted just to test the waters, you know, see how it went, see if y'all liked it.
And then the second one was 2 hours and 50 minutes because it was a road course race. This one is definitely going to hit the 3 hour mark, I
Boy, were
think.
they jacked up after that last
Well,
one.
maybe.
They deserve a lunch whether they win
Got
this
12
race
laps to
on
go,
Monday or
and
not. They
we're
deserve
about to
a
go
little
green,
free
so
food from
we'll
the
see.
owner.
I don't
They've
know how
done a
long the victory
fantastic
lane
job.
stuff is.
Here's the thing to think about. It does take about 8 laps for Stewart's car to come in. And the last words from Mike Ford to
Did
Denny
you see
Hamlin
how
starting
long
right
the-
behind him.
the
This
footage
is your
was?
race.
I can't remember. at
Should
this
be
point.
very interesting, boys.
There you see Darian Grubb up on the pit box on the end there.
Like, I think that's cool. Like even all the crew members have Burger King
His
fire
boys have
suits,
done a
and they
great job
literally
down
only
there
had this, like just this race right here.
Oh, wow.
All year.
Like today, if it was a sponsor who just bought one race, they're not going to buy any fire suits for the whole team usually.
That's what I was going to
Kyle's
say,
gotta
like
get a
when
good
we were
start.
talking
I mean,
about
in
the
him,
Viagra Roman, like,
gotta have
and I said,
Jimmy
did Mark
Johnson
Martin had the Viagra
on
like
his
fire suit?
bumper.
Because I said,
Now I think for Bowman,
anybody's gonna have a
Valvoline
shot
did
of
that,
beating
but that's like the only one I can
Stewart,
really
in my
remember
opinion,
this
or
year for
Hamlin.
him.
but like
They've got-
Roman
this has gotta be the
doesn't
best
follow the fire,
restart
you
the
know, so he
outside
just
lane
wears
has had
his,
all
you
night.
know,
Yeah.
Oscar Mayer or
Jimmy and any of those
whatever.
guys
And
that
I think
can
that's
hold it
also
back
thinking
and have
about
anything
people that don't
left
have just
for
like
these first three guys.
And Stewart's been getting
a
really
main
good
primary
restarts.
scheme reminds me of like Bubba Wallace. Like he just races in like a Richard Petty blue fire suit, which is probably good because he just lines up a lot of mini deals, which I mean that's fine, you know.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of companies that want to support you, or you have one big one, you know, like FedEx that wants to sponsor you the whole race or an ally,
And honestly,
whatever, put your car on the track.
that's good for him. Like, I know his rookie year, they made about every diecast that, you know, every sponsor that he had.
Yeah.
And this year they're probably going to be doing the same thing.
I'm interested to see if Columbia has more involvement.
I think they're supposed to have a few races because they're going to do like the Columbia PFG. I think they want to do the Columbia hunting line.
I think I'd be interested to see that because I know there was some backlash on that paint scheme.
So now Hamlin's going to have to figure out.
But I mean, that's just what they're promoting is like with their mahi, whatever fish. Something.
All right, we need to stay on topic here because we're getting a 10 to go this time by.
I would say, yeah, I see what you mean by all the bumpiness.
Yeah, very bumpy track.
I would imagine that would be very...
Like, especially watching the big turns here.
And these four already
like right there, they're getting a big dip when they go down through there.
That would be very, like, taxing on your body. Like, getting out here, like, oh, I'm tired.
Like, you just bracing every time. Someone's probably going to record that and meme it.
And you see those guys in the back trying to push each other up there.
Hi, Shuggy.
And you saw Logano.
You want to be up here?
He wants to see who's going to win the race.
See if we can get him.
Oh, man.
Come on,
Shuggy. When they get straight now, you guys getting a run will start shoving each other.
He's slipping. I couldn't get out.
Should lay it to the 9, although the 9 doesn't have much of a bumper blast.
Yeah, and that's the problem with trying to bump draft with somebody who's already been in an accident. You don't know where that bumper bar's there, or whether it's not there.
9 to go, Shuggy. Who's going to win?
9 laps remaining.
Me. I win.
You see the first 5 or 6 cars have lined up. As long as these first 5 or 6 cars are lined up, you see Montoya jump out of the line back there in the back, and then...
But this is where the wrecks start happening because now these guys are mirror driving more than they're looking out the windshield. Yeah. They're trying to block each other. Whoa, oh, man.
Funny, like they're back there double file and getting a little crazy. Whoa! Yeah, they're getting crazy.
Still outside.
Caution not coming out.
Scott Speed in the Red Bull number 82.
When was it that you were telling me that, you know, when they used to just race to the
protect their position.
Oh, that was like the
if you look in the mirror, you see
90s, early 2000s.
That's a stupid rule. I think that happened on the 01 race we were watching. That somebody got in a big crash or something, and they were still racing the line. I'm like, that's so dumb. Like, literally, stop.
Yes,
yeah. And you know he
was all on Scott Speed there. He just come up
runs
into
right
him.
across the hood of Allmendinger's car, and it's just like Wally says. Early in the race, there's give and take. There's give and take. We're sitting here looking at 9 laps to go when they were coming by. 8 laps to go. There is no give. There's all take right here.
So 24 had to check up a little bit. 82 had a run. And he figured, you know what, I got enough
That is
fun,
really funny that he's a race car driver and has lots of
You have the perfect race car driver name. Who are you? I'm Scott Speed.
Look, go ahead. 26 is coming too.
Yeah, 26 is coming and has no idea that the 82
so
is there.
Fitting.
Has no idea that the closure rate is that fast, and when it closes, it's over with.
This is a great shot. I think.
You got speed? No.
Watch
Scott
how he misses
Speed.
a 44.
I'll leave.
You're making all these dad jokes over here.
I'm the dad of NASCAR YouTube. You don't know that?
We don't got no children. The cat's our child.
Yeah.
He's been very lucky at avoiding a lot of incidents.
Actually, no. Rusty Waller. He's the dad of NASCAR YouTube.
He's a real dad.
Headed to the garage area, heavily
I
torn up.
heard you sneeze down there.
You'll be a dad one day, but we've only been married not even a year, so.
He was nailed earlier tonight for going too fast on the exit pit road.
Dad, then he's going to change his channel to
DannyBTalks.
Yeah.
Okay, now
you're going to rebrand.
Well, I mean, Hamlin's going to be in another. I mean, now you got Hamlin beside you.
That'd be so funny.
Hello and welcome back to Daddy B Needs a Minute.
Stop.
It's going to get rough.
It's going to get, it just keeps getting, it's funny because you just keep lining them up in different scenarios.
All right, we got 275 people watching. Appreciate y'all coming out. 7 to go. Caution's out for Scott Speed. Likely, I think it's going to go to a green white checkered finish.
That 48, he's not afraid to lay the bumper tee on a restart. And that's what you need to do.
I see some people probably just joined because we weren't that high. You know, so y'all came in at a great time.
Help me.
Yeah, so good timing. Y'all getting here just in time for the finish. But we still had well over 200 people watching, like, you know, since early on. So appreciate everyone's support. Like, this is, we weren't sure if this was going to be a good idea after our first 2 episodes, but definitely looks like there's a big interest for it. Like this is about as many people that usually watch the podcast on my channel. So that's maybe they come over here thinking it's a podcast too, for that matter.
I'm the new podcast member. He's finally let me on screen.
I'm sure there's no nerves behind
I've been wanting to be on the podcast. I keep telling him he needs to let me on.
But back to the podcast though, if you guys are still confused, you don't know what's happening, the show is tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 Central Time, over on Eric Estep's YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to Eric Estep, how he has 125,000 subscribers. That's the words there. But
subscribers.
Go subscribe to Eric Estep on YouTube so you don't miss the show. Make sure you subscribe to myself and the other host of the NASCAR podcast so you don't miss anything from any of us. And we will have special guest William Byron join the show tomorrow. We are very excited to have William on our show.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear that interview, especially with, where position he's at on the playoff bubble.
The timing is great.
The timing is great. I mean, it's all, anyway, an opportunity. I'm getting tongue-tied over here. Awesome opportunity that, y'all get to talk to him to begin with, and then the timing just makes it even better. So you'll definitely want to tune in for that. I know there was a big interest when they had Alex Bowman on a few weeks back. So we got his teammate this time. I said we, as I get to talk to him.
Sounds like Claudia should have a channel called DannyBTalks. I don't know if you'd like that.
I have a channel, just an account, but I don't put anything on it.
She's just a lovely co-host.
A year ago, top 5 finish here at Daytona, almost left with
I know how to make a video, but I just don't have an interest enough to do so.
I think you just wouldn't really know what to sit on and talk about all the time.
Yeah, and I don't like hearing myself in videos, so I couldn't do that.
Matt, what a day this has been for Marcos Ambrose in the 8th position right now.
Claudia BTalks should be the vlog
How's your confident in plate races? He said, I have
none. I do enjoy making those. I know those don't get a ton of views because,
we make those for our personal use.
I think I make it as in more of a, what do you call it, like a time capsule kind of thing? Like, I'd love to go back and reminisce, like, Danny B, I said like their channel. Danny B over here, he made a video of our honeymoon back last November. I mean, it was a couple hour video.
Like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, which, I mean, I know a lot of people don't have an interest to sit down and watch it, but, it's really neat to, hopefully YouTube doesn't go away one day.
Yeah.
But, we can show our kids, hey, look, this is what we did. It's like the new way of, like, home videos,
Yeah.
Because, like, back when we were kids, even before that, you recorded them and had them on little VHS tapes or little tapes that came out of the camera, and you don't have a way of watching that. So hopefully YouTube will be around for a long time, and it's like our way of storing these memories. I think the first one we did, where did we go? Atlanta?
We know Adam on our TNT broadcast, we try to make sure
Atlanta 2018. So ever since then, we've recorded every single. So yeah, if you're curious any kind of race we've been to, I know we've got Atlanta,
Charlotte.
We've got a Charlotte on there. We've got Bristol.
My only regret is that I didn't start doing DannyBTalks just a little bit sooner because it would have been really cool to have our Martinsville trip. Because when we went there, the fall colors were beautiful at one spot we stopped at. Like, I really wish I would have been a YouTuber by then.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this is cool. We cracked 300 viewers. That is awesome. Appreciate everyone who's here watching. You got here just in time. 5 to go. We're under caution. I think we're going to be we're about to restart this time by. It's going to be a 4-lap shootout to find out who wins this one. Yeah, make sure
no spoilers in the chat.
Make sure you look the like button and no spoilers. She has never seen this race before.
Well, good for me that his phone's far away enough so I can't really see the small text, so I can't really see it anyway.
Back on the inside.
Unless somebody sends a super chat.
Getting ready for the restart.
We would gladly accept.
You're going to see some hammering off bumpers here in a minute.
Here we go.
Already you're seeing it. Look at them. They're already pushing each other.
Here
we go. The green flag
crazy
is in
already.
The air. 4 laps remaining.
They want to win the Daytona.
I like these double file restarts, man. Especially
we still have the same 4 cars up front,
Yeah. I'm mostly going to be quiet because I know what happened. I'm more interested in your reaction.
Well, Hamlin's going to slide down in there.
But it's almost like with these cars, once you pull down behind the car, you don't go anywhere, but the car in front of you, he doesn't go anywhere either.
I know something big's going to happen and it's going to be a close finish because I don't know why so many people would have chose this race or he would have said he remembers the finish. Like
I said, a lot of bumper tag
so it
right
might it must be something more like if a close.
You got to give it everything you got. You got 4 laps to go. It's everything.
Like it's not like
Either
so and so won the race. It's like I remember the finish, so it's going to be.
And how many times have we seen nothing come back but the steering wheel here?
Yeah,
especially here.
Yeah, seeing this, I don't know anything about this. Like I don't.
But they got to time it right. But if the 18 pulls out and the 11 goes,
I really don't.
There's a shot at getting by Tony. Tony's car is awfully strong, but he's gonna need everybody to line up against him. And you're gonna need to take your time to do that. 311 people have joined us now
to watch the finish of this race.
I wouldn't be waiting for that last lap stuff doesn't work anymore.
That last lap stuff is great for Talladega Nights. Okay, it's not great for right here. Let me say it. You want to get in front and block. Is what you want to do, and especially when you've got a teammate, you want to get in front and put it down to the 11 and 18 and let those guys race.
And yet you can't race at Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
There's not many.
I just found that really like
good or better.
So people must know we're really getting to that finish. We have 321 now watching.
There may be a wreck. There may be.
It's like people get ready for bed. And it's like, oh, what's on? Oh, Danny B's on. Oh, just in time.
That wreck was almost Montoya. He was completely sideways coming off the corner. He saved it again. Busy night for Juan Pablo Montoya as he still runs up inside the top 10 after all he's been through tonight in that 42.
Who are the other cars we got? Is it Carl Edwards?
Carl Edwards and
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, they've been in accidents, but they have driven the wheels off of them, Kurt Busch and Juan Montoya, to keep these cars in contention.
The only ones not with any damage are the ones at the very front of this pack. But we're not done as we're coming around, getting ready for the white flag.
31 and
Here they come, to the outside. Here comes Kyle Busch.
Wait, where did he come from?
He's been second the whole time.
I know, but it's like...
Now the question is, Tony's got no help because these guys are running
white
too
flag?
wide behind him. So now it's man
Sponsor
on man
credit
right
flag.
now.
I think it's gonna get wider here in a minute, I believe. Here comes Johnson in behind Stewart. Is it enough? Hamlin's high side up there by himself in the 11. First lap led all night by Kyle Busch, and it's the money lap, and it might be all it takes. Now, what does Johnson do to help Stewart?
Doesn't matter. Kyle Busch is going to hog all the racetrack, or he should. He's mirror driving right now.
Tony Stewart trying to get to the bottom.
He may get turned for mirror driving,
he's
but
right
he's
down
going
his
to be mirror
bumper.
driving.
Stewart's trying to squeeze in there. He's shoving to the bottom.
He just wanted to touch him, man. Just wanted to touch him.
Can't get him to the high side. Here he comes. There he goes.
Oh, shoot, that's a big wreck.
Stewart to the checkered flag. And another car gets in the backside. It's Casey Kane. And they're scattering
wow.
as they come to the line.
Checkers are wreckers.
Yeah. Oh, wow, so hard to
They're still hitting hard.
Wow, that almost reminded me of this year's Daytona.
That really did look similar to Ryan Newman's crash, just minus the flip part.
Yeah. Like, he was coming to the wing, got turned, and like smashed into the wall.
And then Kyle got hit hard after that.
Yeah.
And stick the car where
He's probably so mad.
He ain't happy, I tell you that. But it was his own fault. He did that to himself.
Why did he throw a block?
Yeah, he threw a block up on Tony. He had no business making that block. Because Tony had the pass initiated. Kyle had no reason to throw that block.
You know, I know people are going to start, well, this guy did this and that guy blamed this guy. Let me tell you.
But I did think Tony had a good car all day. So.
Yeah, Tony dominated the race. He deserved to win that one. But it was nice that Kyle did what he had to do to get the lead coming on the last lap. But, you know, he threw a ridiculous block.
Racetrack even bigger. Watch this.
Okay, this is the pass at 18.
He waited till the last second to jump up, and fortunately he had his teammate there.
That's that point I said, where did he come from? Because they were single file and he got out of line and got a push. That you said he was in second, but I'm like thinking, I don't remember him being on the outside. But that's why, because I didn't see that part where he got out of line.
I think Kyle had won this race the year before too, so like he was trying to win it 2 years in a row.
See Hamlin out there kind of on the high side. And then you watch the 18's hands in 3 and 4. The 14 is all over the bumper of the 18.
And all he really
Man,
wanted
I
to
was
do, it
hoping
looked like
Jimmy
when he
would've
got in
won.
between 3 and 4 here, if he could have just put his bumper to him just a little bit and got him
And
loose
slid him up.
and slid him up the racetrack. You see him right here. He drives right to that corner right here. When he makes that turn,
Well,
boom,
one of
he'll
those
be
guys
right
in
on
that top
18's
three
corner,
isn't
force him up
racing
the
now, so
racetrack right
maybe
there.
maybe Jimmy can be in the
Now,
position to
Kyle's
try
hanging
to
on.
pass
He
Kyle
comes
Busch.
back.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
he came back up and just got tired.
yeah, like if he would have just stayed committed to that, it might have been a photo finish.
Yeah, I think he came back up and Kyle Busch definitely did that to himself.
Like, I think Kyle might have even still won if he would have just stayed in the lane he was in.
Yeah, that's true.
One to the inside, one to the outside.
Yeah, this one's fair right here.
Yeah, and then when he came back.
Yeah, like Tony's on your outside. You had no business to do
across
that.
the hood of somebody after you've blocked him once. And Tony, once he blocked, Tony put the bumper on the outside.
That's going to show what happened to him.
Watch tonight. I think it's a
Watch
nice
Casey Kane.
Right in the back. He goes right into it.
Just clobbers Kyle Busch.
And these guys, there's a 31 car, Tori, but these guys hit hard.
Logano finally, his luck ran out. He just
but you see these guys come on.
That's one of the roughest crashes that Kyle Busch has ever had.
Yeah.
They're very fortunate nobody got hurt right there.
Trying to bump you. Stay on this yellow line.
Like, what a terrible feeling that is. It's like,
You know what's crazy? His spotter said stay on the yellow line. He didn't do what his spotter said.
That's 180.
There's Budweiser.
Shot right there. Man, that was brutal.
Listen to it.
such a bummer, like thinking you're about to win the race and then you end up smashing the wall.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
For Tony Stewart,
I can tell there's a lot of people who don't like Kyle Busch in the chat right now.
74th start. Oh,
They're saying this finish is great.
And we lost another camera right there.
Daytona fans got their money's worth.
That was Stewart's crew.
Straightaway.
so now that's twice we've seen Tony Stewart win.
Yeah,
In our watch
in this
alongs.
series we've seen Jeff Gordon and now we've seen Tony Stewart win 2 times.
July Daytona win. All in the last 5 races. You're watching Wide Open coverage.
Like,
Coke
I'm just thinking, like,
0400
you know, the
TNT.
comment I just said is like when you think you're gonna win, and then it's like, bam, you smash the wall. Like Ryan Newman, like that's such a sad feeling. Like he's thinking he's about to win a Daytona 500,
Yeah.
and then just smashes the wall. Well, I mean,
Welcome
I
back
think
to our
they said he really
post-race
doesn't
show here
remember
at
that
Daytona as the
race,
fireworks
or the-
still exploding
We got all
in
the,
the sky. And Marty, we
that's
talked
incredible
about the look of
coming
the
in there
driver
for Kyle
when you
Petty
get out of
now.
victory lane at Daytona.
Yeah, even on Danny's Daytona vlog,
time for Tony Stewart.
I remember him saying, Ryan Newman's gonna get us, but he's never run a Daytona 500. has he?
Wow.
In 2008.
Okay, or I think he
I
said
think he's going to be a 2-time Daytona 500
as he's coming out of like 3 or 4,
Yeah.
and then
I mean, at that point he had a huge lead. I thought he was.
Oh, I
There was
know.
no way to really catch him.
I went where I had to go, and he went where he had to go.
yeah.
Just,
Speaking of Ryan Newman, if y'all haven't seen Danny's new video, he uploaded one about Ryan Newman.
Yeah, because he only has one career super speedway win, despite having a huge, like a really good average finish. But unfortunately, he's also been on a lot of bad luck when it comes to these races. You know, he's nothing has ever really worked out for him. So he is the unluckiest super speedway racer in all NASCAR, in my opinion.
Yeah, so go check that out. Since I've been at work all day, I haven't been able to watch. So when he makes videos, I don't like to watch them when he's working on them because I like to watch them with everybody else and you know, see how the finished product looks.
Tony got some confetti in the face there.
If I did something wrong, I'm sorry. I don't think I did, but
I don't care.
I was out there when he moved, so I don't know.
Funny how Tony's like, if I did something wrong, I'm sorry. No, you did nothing wrong. Like that was all on Kyle.
Yeah, definitely. After seeing that replay, it's funny. Like they're like friends, like promotional girls who are wearing like fire suits, and then you have like the next year you have Monster and like them like half dressed.
She looks like she's struggling to hold that smile at this point.
Yeah.
Thanks for
But you know, like Monster, they were wearing like the crop tops, the bellies. I mean, they're very fit girls, so it wasn't, you know, whatever. But it was like, you know, yeah, it's like, yeah, you have modest like fire suits, you know, fits the thing, and then you got like little flashy girls.
I think Winston girls wore like more tracksuit style. Like, I think that's kind of how they.
We'll let you guys celebrate with your team.
Like it was definitely a '90s look for
Congratulations,
sure.
Tony Stewart and the
I
Stewart
think it's
Haas team
interesting
in
that
victory lane here at Daytona.
like since I guess an unnamed series.
Marty,
like
Jimmy Johnson had a front row seat for that wild finish. Take us
but I think
through
it's
your
funny,
eyes,
like
what you saw there.
I guess since we don't have like a true title sponsor for NASCAR, like there's no like promotional girl. Well, even if there was, they couldn't be at the track anyway, so it don't really matter.
A couple runs, lap or two before that, and I knew to sit in my position there, not give up.
But I always think they look awkward in the background anyway.
Yeah, like that girl. She was definitely struggling to hold that smile.
Just like waving the whole time.
They hooked by a couple inches and it turned the 18.
I mean, I watched what was
I think the top 4 cars really
Racing Wives
were there all day long. The 18, the 11,
Whitney
the 14,
Dillon's
and us.
friend,
And it was just a matter who came out
Mariel
on pit road and what track
like
position they
had.
She was a monster girl, and so they were showing kind of like behind the scenes, like, okay, I think Mariel was like in charge of like picking or assigning which girl would be in like victory lane. It's like, okay, you're gonna go to victory lane, you're gonna hand the driver his winner sticker and whatever, and it's kind of funny. It's like once you're there, it's like, here you go, okay, smile, tease, while they're doing all the interviews, and you're just there. I think that would be an awkward job, like you just standing there smiling.
But take me through that final lap and what that was like for you.
At first, I got to thank Aflac, Subway, Ford. All right, so this last lap, I really wanted to be up there racing with those guys, and then we come to the travel, and I saw what happened there. I thought, I'm glad I'm not racing with those guys, because that was insane. I saw the right side of Kyle's car. He went straight in the fence, and it looked to me like the wheels came off the ground a bit, so real scared for him there for a second. So I just turned left, went to the grass, and I guess Tony won the race. But just a wild finish, and just got to say hey to all the troops out there and everyone supporting us and sacrificing for us, and hope everybody has a happy Independence Day.
Carl Edwards takes home a 5th place finish tonight. Adam.
Julie Miller said, I probably couldn't do her job. I can't smile that long just to appease a sponsor. Absolutely agree, Miss Claudia.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 2 guys battling, seeing the checker flag right there in front of them. That's what happens. And on a restricted place, when everyone has new tires, the cars are very equal, and that's what you see is tight finishes like that. But our whole FedEx office team gave something for our employees to be excited about. We were up front all day, just got in trouble right there. I had to make a choice. I felt like coming off turn 4, coming to the white, when I pushed the 18 beside the 14, I had to stick with the 18. It's my duties as a teammate to push him to the lead, and I felt like if I did that, it was going to be a good shot. He was going to win it, but I could have maybe stick with the 14 and then maybe gave Rush a shot, but then I was going to have the 48 behind me. It wasn't going to work either way for us. I just think circumstances didn't work out for him to win.
Nice run for Denny Hamlin, Lindsay.
Kurt Busch, a top 5 finish, but you battled your race car all day
long.
Yeah, it was a good car, and we felt steady early on, just waiting for our time, and we got a lap led early, but man, those guys were tough, so we couldn't lead them all. Just wanted to hang in that group. We just had a right front start shredding on us.
Him growing out facial hair was a good move on his part.
On the back straightaway, and a guy got
that was
spun
a good finish for him.
Got some damage, but that was early enough in the race for us to bounce back, and the crew was poised with the fix, and we just kept digging. I was going to go back to about 15th on that last lap with guys going everywhere. I never lifted, didn't check up, found some holes coming
I'm ready for bed.
And I didn't know it was my little brother when he hit.
11 here, but
when I found out, I was pretty tore up, but I'm glad he's okay.
No need to listen to all these driver interviews.
Today, Ralph.
Yeah, you can go back on Dave's channel.
But I'll tell you what,
watch
this
the last
is
couple
why
minutes.
everybody looks
check it out on Dave
forward to
W's.
the 4th of July race here at Daytona. Watch this finish.
One more look at this finish here for you guys.
I don't think Stewart, I think once he sees all this, he shouldn't be beating himself up too much on this deal. I mean, like I said, you're looking at the checker flag at Daytona.
It was definitely all Kyle's fault right there.
That's a hard hit by the 18 car because he hits with the left front and then drives the driver's side into the wall.
When he gets drilled by Kane right here,
and then he just gets lifted off the ground.
But I'm telling you that.
There you go.
Look at that car.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's a shot. So he got hit. He took a shot in the front, and then he took a shot from the back. I mean. And then he got one to the door.
See
that? Yeah, that's what I said. As they were going on down, that's why I kept trying to follow the cars down. I'm like, they hit really hard past the start-finish line.
Did you
Not
see
only
the
these
person,
cars,
I think it was
the
probably
31 car. There were 2 or 3 cars that took some major licks going down the turn 1 down.
And the bad thing
I
about
think it's
this
always
is he's already
funny
has
when
damage on the
there are
left
things
side.
that other than the
That's
number.
why he's seen
funny
the
how
car
close
get
like he
hit
was from the
twice.
start-finish line. I was like, oh.
Ooh, the 9 car
But
gets hit
I know
right
somebody,
in the door by the 31 car. You see him.
I can't remember
and the 20 car hits his
somebody now
right
has like the
I bet you that's the hardest shot.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yep.
I think that's
watch it from Joey Logano's view out the back.
Well, alrighty, guys. We appreciate everyone who came out to support us. We still have 200 watching. We were up to like 330 at one point. So I appreciate everyone's support on this series. We look forward to watching more races in the future. I might put out a community tab poll asking what should be our next one that we watch. Definitely, I'm already going to say the week of the Bristol race, we're going to rewatch the 2009 Scott's Turf Builder 300. That was the first race that I ever attended. She obviously probably knows nothing about that race.
No, probably not.
That's something to look forward to in the future. Down in the comments after this video is done, leave some suggestions for future races you guys like to see us watch.
And it probably needs to be 2015 or older, because I started watching in 2016.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably races in 2016 I wouldn't really know, because I was still trying to figure out what actually was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we prefer like older races, because he, at least with this one, he remembered watching, and he can kind of reminisce on those things, and then I've never seen them, so it's kind of neat to kind of him to reminisce and me to enjoy. So that's what we prefer is, and then probably something between the 90s to up to 2015, just because anything kind of before the 90s, the quality is terrible.
Yeah.
I know I tried to watch like a Daytona 500 from 1970 something, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
like
so
those are
blurry.
great races, but it's hard to get too invested for the entire time when the quality's not that great.
Right. So that's why we're trying to kind of keep within that range. So if you know of a race that you want to suggest, go ahead and like he said, leave it in the comments. Don't leave it in the chat, because once the stream ends, that kind of goes away.
Yeah.
So leave it in the comments so we can go back and see what you suggested.
But until then, though, thank you all so much for the support. Leave a like on it. And if you are new, if this is the first time you found DannyBTalks, subscribe. There is tons of great content on this channel I think you're going to like, and tons more to come in the future. Until then, I've been Danny B.
I'm, Claudia B.
And we will see you guys next time. Have a good day.